Give it to me like.
Hey, what up? What up? I'm not doing so well. Hold on, I'm just trying to pull up a video. It's been a rough 2 days, I'll tell you that much. And I don't see an end in sight. Hang on, I'm just trying to pull something up. There it is. All right. So I am feeling horrible. Absolutely horrible. Hey, Peggy. I feel like I've been hit by a fucking truck. Like, for real. But it is what it is. I thought about even like giving up chemo. I was looking up stuff last night. Can I just like give up chemo? What happens if you quit chemo two sessions out of 4? That's where I was at last night. That's how bad I felt. And then it's just even worse today. But it is what it is. What are we gonna do? But it is what it is. 2 more to go, I know. But amazingly enough, I still have eyebrows and I still have eyelashes. I don't know if the cold capping is freezing my eyelashes and eyebrows, but I still have them. I don't have any hair anywhere else besides the top of my head and my eyelashes and my face. But that's a good thing. I'm not so upset over it, believe me. It's a good thing. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. So what I wanted to get into tonight. All right. So being that I've been sick, I have been sitting back and watching what the hell's going on. Now, Friday was a good thing because Friday I had to go pick Dayton up from the airport and I was fine. Like it didn't hit me till Saturday, which is a good thing. But I don't know why it hit me so hard. Like it hit me worse this time than it did last time. And I took my Claritin and I took everything I'm supposed to do, and it's just bad. But anyway, on the way to the airport on Friday, I noticed that Crime Sleuthin' was on Deets. I wasn't going to jump on panel. I know nothing about the story, but I couldn't chat because I was driving. But I really had something to say. So that's when I jumped on panel. And, at first, Crime Sleuthin' had me believing her. She did. I really believed her. Go lay down. I really believed her. I was on her side. She was saying that, and I'm going to recap for everybody. She was saying, what? Hang on. Let me go let him out. What? Come on. You want to go out? I just let you in. Come on. Pain in the butt. Okay. So Crime Sleuthin was saying how this text message with Steve Gonzalez was fake, and Melissa Jade was saying that she believed it was real. The whole live was insane. And I'm like summing it all up because it was fucking insane. But my biggest question is, why does it matter? You know, these people, and I see this in multiple creators, these people are not celebrities. They are victims of their child getting murdered. That doesn't make them a fucking celebrity. Now, me being a nosy bitch, if I'm going to contact somebody, if I'm going to talk to a family, it's not because I want to make money. It's because I'm interested, because I want to know where her last whereabouts were or his last whereabouts. What were they like? You know, making them human and not making them just like, but these people, so many people look at these crime families like they're fucking celebrities. Steve Gonsalves is not a celebrity. He's a victim. His daughter was brutally murdered in the worst possible way. That he's not a fucking celebrity. And people need to stop making them into celebrities. It's frustrating, it's disgusting, it's vile. From what I understand, Anita, it had to do with grand jury stuff. And I'm going to show some of the video, but grand jury stuff, things that was said with the grand jury, things that was said with between Steve and the grand jury, or the grand jury was said to him. I'm not 100% sure. But the reality is, Steve Gonsalves is not a celebrity. And these people act like they're celebrities. And everybody wants to speak to them, and everybody wants to be the first info. I truly do not have a problem with anybody contacting a family if they're really curious about a situation. I don't have a problem with that. But when you're doing it strictly for money, that's a problem. When you look at these people like celebrities, that's a problem. When you look at uh putting these people on pedestals, and yeah, he's a grieving father, but he's also a victim. He's a father victim because his daughter was murdered. And it's just absolutely vile and disgusting to me how these people were going back and forth about, did Steve write it? Did Steve not write it? Who fucking cares? Who cares if he wrote it or not wrote it? It doesn't matter. Why is this the topic of conversation for this psycho bitch? I don't get it. And I don't get why she's putting these people on pedestals like they are like they're celebrities. They're not celebrities. Gypsy Rose is another one. You're right. A lot of people look at Gypsy Rose as a celebrity. She's not a celebrity. She's a murderer. Do I think she was justified? 100%. But she's still a murderer at the end of the day. She's definitely not a celebrity. So, as anyone that was watching the Deets live stream knows, that me and Crime Sleuthin go way back. We go way back to an incident that happened on Queen Bee's panel, which I will play for you guys. I've listened to some of it. I don't know if this is all of it. And I don't know if this is the exact scenario of what happened, but Crime Sleuthin is just a fucking liar. She's a liar. She's a fraud. She conjures shit up in her fucking head. And it's mind-blowing to me. That I'm surprised she even has 8,000 subscribers. All I know is 3 streams, total of 17 hours out of 24. I know, right? Pick up for Zap Girl and Tyler because this is straight up lies. I just literally straight up lying. And I like this person. I really was going to go live at my normal time. I saw Kurt was going live at 8:30. I really wasn't even going to go live tonight, but I needed to clear something up that was super, super, super important that I just heard. And I'm blown away. So Queen Bee, I apologize for playing your live when you're live, but I have no choice. I'm just blown away at the lies that I heard. It was like one after the next, they're just lying. And I don't know why they're lying. And I like this person. I really, truly did. And I'll be honest with you, up until literally a minute and a half ago, I had no idea who was saying it. I just knew it was lies. And I'm not going to say for sure if she got misinformation, if she didn't get misinformation, if she's just blatantly lying, which I have a hard time believing she is. But I needed to stick up for Zap Girl and Tyler because this is straight up lies. I just literally straight up lies. And again, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if it was intentional, if it wasn't intentional. Now, let me also put out there, this has nothing to do with Queen Bee other than it was her channel. Nobody on that panel knows what was going on. Nobody on that panel, including Queen Bee, had any idea that what this person was saying was true or false. So I can't blame anybody on panel, but you know, I do talk to Tyler a lot, like almost daily, you know, outside of YouTube. So I know the story, like firsthand, I know the story. So that's why when I heard these lies, and then again, Zav Girl, and then people saying how, you know, well, some people are in this for money. Yes, we do this as a job. And I'm not ever going to deny it. I'm not ever going to say that I don't. Yes, I do this to make money. I do this for a living. This is my full-time job. Now, again, let me stress when I say YouTube, YouTube also includes my candle business. It's a combination of everything, not just me going live. A lot of it has to do with my candle business as well, because 98% or 90% of that comes from YouTube. So as a whole, YouTube, yes, Patreon, YouTube, everything. All right. So I'm listening to Queen Bee. I'm making the kids dinner, and I can't show you guys. I can't tell you guys unless I play it. All right. So let me figure out exactly where I was.
Or also I feel like she a lot of times says like she doesn't like drama and stuff. But
yeah, if she wanted, we're talking about. You're following along with the case, and you know, kind of a dead end, you know, lull of the situation. And there's not really anything new coming out, kind of waiting for new information, right? And so, you know, your YouTube channel's kind of running through what's kind of going on. Nothing really new coming in. And so
yes, I own a candle business called Energy Candles,
and just waiting for new information, and you really like them.
The true crime channel.
Right, which kind of goes along with what you're doing your live about today, which is kind of why I popped in. I found you through Perplex QT.
Okay.
She sent us all over one night, and I was like, "This is some crazy shit."
You gotta go.
You have a couple. You have some of them that are literally relying on it for their sole income, you know, to support their families. So they kind of want to stretch out, for lack of a better term. And
okay, let me just stress, I don't need to stretch out anything. There's 1,500 cases out there, but I've already explained all this, so I'm not even going to go through it again. But yeah, I don't need to stretch out anything, and neither does anyone else I know.
So they know that if there's breaking news and it suddenly gets solved, there it goes. They've got to wait for another big case, right? And I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that this information. Okay, so let's say that this information, Queenie, should I just say it? Is that what I call you, Queenie, Queen Bee? I hear people calling you different.
For those of you that are lost, you're as lost as her panel is. That's why I did it this way, because I want you guys to be, because this is everyone on the panel. Let me show you guys so it makes it easier. But everyone on their panel is just as lost as you guys. So that I put it like that because I don't want anybody else feeling like, well, we're going to get mad at Queen Bee or we're going to get mad at anyone else on the panel because everyone's as lost as you guys. There's always, just remember, there's always a method to my madness. I promise you. There's always a method to it. Hey, Debbie.
Thanks, I'm so sorry. What do you prefer?
Well, if it's something that they're potentially going to the police with, it might not be.
That's fine.
Oh, you're going. Go for
You're good. You're good. She said.
So if there was
Yeah, I legit wanted you guys to be lost because that's, imagine somebody coming up on panel. It only works if you guys are lost. If I gave you the whole story, then you'd understand. But just imagine being her panel, including Queen Bee, lost, totally lost.
I'm not a confrontational person at all.
We're not going to jump on you, hon.
I'm not a person that's about drama. I just don't think it's right that if people are paying for information and they sit there and they just kind of don't notice because it's in the middle of the night, you know, people get on there and kind of chat and they're hush about something. Oh yeah, send it to me. No, I'm never gonna tell anybody. Queen Bee saw my receipts, correct? And
Yes, ma'am, I did. And yes, I did not share. I didn't share or say anything about it because I didn't want you to. But I do want you to know that most of the people in this chat have seen those and they've actually been in those live streams at the same time. So they probably know. Actually, I'm sure everybody in this chat probably knows what you're talking about.
I'm not sure what she's talking about, but you know, if it's about CIA, I'm about to drop off because I don't want to.
Or aliens.
Exactly.
well, okay. So if you found out that somebody was still alive way after the timeline and certain creators were passing around videos showing that, wouldn't you want that creator to say, hey, whoa, let's just stop this live stream right now instead of going over what her belt may have looked like in this old surveillance video, you know?
Now, let me also put out there, the only two people that go live in the middle of the night that's friends with this crew is me and Zab Girl. Zab is or was close to Tiffany. So you can only be talking about me or Zab Girl. Like Dolly wouldn't be included in this. So keep listening. So now they're all thinking, they have to be thinking it's either me or Zab. So now just to give you guys an update, the reason why I'm playing this is give you guys a background on me and Crime Sleuthin'. That's the whole reason I'm playing this.
Not worry about was her hair cut and dyed at 6 p.m.
So
Why don't we come
Hey,
back? Hey, oh my God, was she alive at 1:23 a.m. with 5 boys? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Why don't we
that's
just
kind of
go
why we were
back here?
upset. We were really upset with that girl because of that. We were upset with her
Right,
because of
let me
that,
guess,
and we
let
were
me guess.
upset because the kids that were shown on her live stream. Other than that, I don't care what people do. I don't care that they cover cases. I don't really care what they talk about. I understand that you use that, you know, they use this for money and it's a livelihood for some, and that's fine. You know what I mean? I think what really upsets me is I have minor children and I have, you know, girls at that, and I know how you know, how devastating it can be. And, you know, on an online presence, it's online is, you know, the kids are.
They are, okay, that's what I'm getting at, Jenny. They're upset with Zab Girl over false information. There is no video anywhere that shows Kylie was alive with 5 guys. None whatsoever. This is rumor that's being spread. I don't know why. I've seen the video. I'm not going on secondhand. I have the video. Kylie is not even in it. Kylie's name is not even mentioned. It has nothing to do with Kylie. I mean, it has to do somewhat, but Kylie is not involved in it at all. I don't know where this information came from. I don't know where this information started, why it spread like this, but Kylie is not even in it. I don't know where it started from. People owe Zab Girl an apology. If you're sitting there mad at Zab Girl over a video that has nothing with Kylie in it, nothing at all. There's not even vocals on it.
Online presence is way different for them than it was for us.
Yeah, I did notice yesterday she was pulling up yearbook photos and putting them up there, and I was like, whoa. But you know, it's whatever. It's her channel. I try not to.
Yeah, that's what was
say
really
anything,
upsetting
but
to me about it.
That was the only reason I peek in there sometimes, and you know,
Now let me also add, Zav does not curse. Tyler does not curse. I have no motherfucking problem cursing. So that is why I told one of them that I will go live about this, because this is fucking bullshit. Don't run to Queen Bee and spread these lies. And again, like I said, she very well could have gotten misinformation herself. So I'm not blaming anyone per se. What I am saying is that you can't run and spread these fucking lies. This is how people get hurt. This is how teens get hurt. Do you know why none of us will show that video? Because there's too many fucking lies being spread. There's too many lies. And these kids, these 5 kids, will be the next fucking person that gets attacked. That's why they're not. Plain and simple. And like I said, Tyler and Zav Girl share the same type of personality. Non-confrontational. They're very calm. They don't curse. They're both wonderful people. I mean that.
But you can't run and spread their lies based on, because you know that's the type of person they are, that they're not going to be confrontational. They're not going to call you out. I'm going to call you out. This is fucking wrong on so many levels.
Just to see what's going on. I have my other favorites though, and she was.
Well,
like
yeah, and I mean,
the
she's
first
not,
one.
you know, we're not doing this in a chat room of 150 people or 200 people. She's doing this in a chat room with like 5,000 people, 4,000 people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then those people go over to TikTok, and then they start messaging these kids on TikTok. These kids are like,
Right.
what the hell? Half of them don't even know what's going on, let alone do they talk on YouTube.
All right, Captain, this is, I probably didn't get that far because I didn't know that she came on there. And I don't think Tyler knew she came on there either, because I had no idea that, you know, Zap Girl even went on there.
So most of the kids don't use YouTube and Facebook. They use Snapchat and Instagram.
And also, Captain, like I said earlier, I'm not blaming anybody on panel. Everyone on panel was as confused as everybody else.
I'm sorry. What do I refer your name as? Our YouTube name is? The lady that just spoke a moment ago about your 1 or 2 question.
What, Tim? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I just want to know her name so I can refer to her. So, you know, I don't know her YouTube name, the person on.
Fueled by Coffee is one of them. Fueled by Coffee.
Yeah, that's that's the person who just on.
Now, let me say something else, and I mean this. If Zap Girl had 5 people in her life and was making nothing, and she was dragging this out, I gotcha. I hear you. Zap consistently has thousands of people in her life and thousands of people paying her consistently to talk about this case. Why would she stop? Can someone tell me why she would stop? Because someone else thinks she should? When the numbers die down and people are no longer supporting her talking about this case, that's when a creator moves on. I don't know why everybody is getting on her about how she handles a case. Her crowd still wants to talk about it. Her people still want to discuss it. Thank you, Greg. Her people still want to discuss it. So if her people want to discuss it, then that's all that matters. No, Wonder Twin, I did not watch the whole video, but I want to straighten it out, because even if this was straightened out on Queen Bee's video, fine. But guess what? Everything I'm saying is still holds true for the future. It still holds true for moving forward.
Okay. So you guys get a general idea of where this all started. There's another video that QB has. I wasn't looking through every single one of her videos to find this blow up that her and I had, but there was a video that Tyler sent me that had, Tyler sent me that had 5 guys from a party, and Crime Sleuth and went around saying that she wanted the video and that we're holding back videos and we're, you know, these horrible people and this information should go to the FBI. I mean, she's fucking out of her mind. Okay, so that's where this all started between me and her. Now let's fast forward to Friday night. Friday night comes, Deet has her on panel. I guess Deet and Melissa Jade had something going on with these private texts or whatever. Okay. So Crime Sleuthin' a year ago had said that she pledged like $1,000 to this crime case that she was working on. Okay. And in this case, she thought she was going to have money that she didn't have. All right. I know MJ thinks they're real. That she was going to pledge money that she didn't have because she thought she was getting it. So this goes on Deet's panel for hours, and I mean hours. Deet's then goes ahead, and it seemed that it was money for therapy for this victim who found her sister passed away. I have my own thoughts on it, but regardless, it doesn't matter what my thoughts are. I'm sure many of you would agree with me. But the bottom line is that I can tell the glarer that I'm pledging $1,000 to him. Well, it fucking don't mean I got it. So if all of a sudden that money that I thought I was going to have, oh, she was just a searcher. Okay, now it gets even weirder. So she wasn't even related? Okay, that makes the whole story even more fucking ridiculous. So Deet's went out of her way and got her subscribers to raise $1,300 within 30 minutes. Okay. Rachel Marine case. This girl found her body. Okay. So I'm going to say my opinion on it anyway. Sorry, not sorry. Some of you may not agree with me, and I'm okay with this. But the money didn't go for trauma therapy. And what happened to insurance? And if she doesn't have insurance, why couldn't she go through Medicaid? I have a hard time with the whole story. But I don't know the whole story. But if she needed trauma therapy, then why did none of the money go in for trauma therapy? Next thing you know, the money's going because she's pregnant. Well, she's not that traumatized then. She's moved on. So they were going, this was what I'm telling you guys where my head was at. So they're going at crime sleuthing over and over. Hey, Chrissy, they're going at crime sleuthing over and over and over about this $1,000, which I really don't even understand. No, not from crime sleuthing, but Dietz's channel raised $1,300 immediately. Like within 30 minutes, they raised $1,300 for this woman. So this woman, and Dietz gave it to her 100%. Hey, yep. Dietz gave it to her. And it turns out that the woman was pregnant, and now she didn't need trauma therapy, I guess. So then this went on to Queen Bee's panel the next night. Queen Bee started off her live stating how horrible it was for what was done to crime sleuthing. Needless to say, the exact same thing. No, that's not true, Lindsay. That's not true. Hey, fur baby. The exact same thing happened on Queen Bee's panel, and nobody says a word. And she, yes, but they knew behind the scenes. The point is, if she needed trauma therapy so badly, then why does it have to do with her being pregnant? I don't like the way this, okay. Queen Bee said some stuff last night that I absolutely 100% unequivocally agree with. Tia made the money. She got the money for the girl. Why are you still hounding fucking crime sleuthing? Like, honestly, why are you still fucking hounding her? You got the money. Tia made a comment yesterday on Queen Bee's panel and says, and I quote, I'll have to work at McDonald's. So Queen Bee stepped in and said, McDonald's, you got the money. What are you talking about? You just fucking got the money. Like, what do you mean you work at McDonald's? You just got paid $1,300. So where are you working at McDonald's? I was like, thank you, Queen Bee, because she was 100% right. No, people knew. But if she is pregnant, she's moved on. She's okay. Trauma therapy a year later? Come on now. Really? I'm sorry. There's something shady going on there. I don't know what. Don't support it. Don't like it. I think there's something shady going on. Just saying. I do. Dietz did her own fundraiser. It wasn't a goal. Even if Dietz raised $1,400, that has nothing to do with banks. I understand that, and I asked that coming in. I asked that, but to hound somebody that you know is never going to give you the money? Come on. We know crime sleuthing is never going to fucking give you the money. We know she's not going to just holding her accountable felt like bullying. It did. I hate to say it, but it does. It seemed like bullying. And then Queen Bee, who's calling out bullying, is then bullying. Make it make sense. How are you going to tell somebody else that it's bullying when you're doing the exact same thing? Her body was found in August and Banks pledging money. No, Banks pledging money way before November. It's like if Laura promised me cheese and someone else sent me cheese, Laura still owes me cheese. Yes, but we know that she's never going to pay it. It's not a secret that she's never going to pay it. She's just not. Suck it up and move on. Plain and simple. Just suck it up and move on. But she's never going to pay it. So why bother? Why bother hounding her when she's never going to pay it? And don't get me wrong, I know she doubled down. But hold on. Let me go to the parts. Bear with me. Okay, people asked about the screenshots. Yes, QB talks about the dog piling, and that's all she did, 100%.
Seems like the vast majority are believing that besides Queen of Kings, everyone. No, it's not a trick question. Yeah, so everyone thinks that the one closest to MJ is real, which is Brat's screenshot.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pause on pointing out the differences and where you can clearly tell that the other is faked for just a little bit. So we'll come back to this screenshot. So just keep this in mind. I wanted to pull it up because hers on her videos are sideways, so it's really hard to see.
I go into messaging and stuff on my screen because they said they believe the messages were real because you could see her handling the phone and scrolling it. So
did you say that?
I said that there is, and I could pull it up, there is a specific live from TikTok that was done in July before this screen recording was released. And in that live, you literally see Brat on camera sitting at her laptop, and she has her Facebook profile open. Now, when you have your Facebook profile open on a laptop and you're messaging, the message comes up on the bottom, like of the screen.
Correct.
My point is, you could see her whole profile in the back, and then the messengers popped up, and you are watching her. I guess her laptop, it's a touch screen, so you're seeing her scroll. And yes, the messages are blurry. I mean, you can pause it down if you really wanted to decipher it, but if you line up the blur bubbles in the light, like they completely match up and align with what the messages in the screen recording were released to be. So I said, I saw the video. It's one of the reasons why I'm inclined to believe it's legit. Again, can't verify. I'm just inclined to believe it is legitimate. I saw Brat sitting in front of the laptop and actively scrolling back when she still was talking to Steve. And you're watching the messages load in real time. Like, you know, when you scroll all the way to the top and sometimes it takes a second and it like loads and then the next set of messages, you're trying to get to the top of the message thread. That is what I watched happen. So I'm saying it's not just can you fake the screen recording? I also watched her live scrolling through the messages.
So for you, and it is for me as well, it's the totality of all these things. It's not like, oh, well, we saw her.
And this right here is where my question comes in. Why does it even fucking matter? Why does it matter if these screenshots are real or fake? They're none of our business. This is what I don't understand. Whatever conversation Steve had is not for us to debunk. It's his private conversation with whoever he had it with. I don't know. I just think this is strange. And if someone can clarify where I'm wrong, let me know, because this is fucking strange.
Scrolling, which I'm trying to find that video real quick, but I'm scrolling through my history and I watched a lot of yarn videos, and so I'm getting there. It'll pop up in a second. But it's the totality of everything that makes me lean towards them being legitimate. It's not just one thing, but when you take everything into consideration, it's like, okay, this is adding up as these are legit.
Correct. And that's just my opinion. It's just that's why I don't understand why she's battling me so much. It's my opinion. I'm leaning more towards legitimate. If it comes out tomorrow they're fake, then they're fake. My point of it is proven whether they're fake or real. It was never about what's in the messages that Steve's leaking. No, it was about people getting way too involved in active current cases and watching
Mhm.
this information directly being fed to them, and the emotional and mental toll that is going to take on victims' families, and the potential for it to actually impact the case itself. That was the entire point of focusing on the messages. So it works whether they're real or whether they're fake.
Exactly.
TikTok.
Is it to the TikTok one? Trying to find that part where she
Mhm.
is showing them screen recorded. Might have went too far.
No,
Oh, no,
there
here
it
we
is.
go. So, Sonia D was a friend. I kept spelling her name with a J today, doggone it. Anyway, she was a friend of Brat's and is no longer. So she recorded this while Brat was doing it on a TikTok live. So it's not Brat screen recording herself, it's Sonia recording the live.
And this is July 25th, 2023 at 11 Central Standard Time.
Make sure.
So it was before the leak. It was before the leak happened, because at
Mhm.
this point, she is still talking to Steve. So the messages that we will see in their
They're still
entirety
active, yep.
are still happening. Not all of
But again, why does any of this fucking matter in any of our lives? It doesn't.
them even happened yet.
I thought you had his personal phone number.
I do. You want me to call him right now and get him on the phone?
No, he's in bed right now. He has work in the morning. You should know that if you talk to him.
I don't know. Does it look like I'm talking to him?
That could be anyone, sweetheart.
Oh, okay. So now that I'm
I've actually talked to him, but I mean, go off. Go off.
Hold on. It's still going.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's Gonzo. Who's Gonzo? Like, this is a serious question. I don't know. I thought his name was Steve.
Okay. Well, you don't really know anything then, do you?
Is it just like Dot was a real person, just like Holly was saying a real story about Brad? You do not care about the shit you put out. You just want to put shit out there that people are going to look at and give you clicks for.
Okay. Does everyone see me still going? Does everyone see me still going?
You see how it
We're not
loads?
gonna post our
You
personal
can't.
Yep. See how it comes up and down? That's what happens on your personal Facebook Messenger if you're doing it on a
But-
laptop.
But wait, apparently, if you go back a little bit,
Mhm.
you could see the date and time when her mouse hovers over a message. It literally even says the date and time on it.
Okay, let me see. Let me play.
Just like Holly was saying a real story about Brad.
After the
You do
glitch,
not care about the shit you put out.
See that little black?
that little
pops up?
gray, yeah, the little gray over here in the
Apparently, it
corner.
was more visible if you go back a little bit.
Okay. Further even. Oh, well, right there.
Yeah.
This.
Well, keep going back, because I
Mhm.
don't know if it was more visible at one point.
Whoops, right there.
I don't know. Press play again.
Well, here's the beginning. Let's see.
I thought you had his personal phone number.
I do. You want me to call him right now and get him on the phone?
No, he's in bed right now. He has work in the morning. You should know that if you talk to him.
Up there. See, it looks like it says like maybe
Nailed
Wednesday
it.
4, but I can't. It's too
Mhm.
blurry to see.
It's too blurry. Yeah.
Okay.
But the reason that they come up and down is because that's what happens when you are on a computer scrolling through your Facebook messages.
Mhm.
It's designed that way. I'm sure everybody who's looked at their own personal Facebook messages.
And at this point, people were questioning whether or not Brat was legitimately speaking to Steve, because nobody realized his Gonzo account. That is his legitimate account.
It is. We'll
Gonzo.
show that later. But yeah.
But people at that point didn't know, and so they're like, "Who's Gonzo? That's not Steve. Who's Gonzo?" And so she's like, "Okay, well, clearly you don't know him that well, because that is his account."
Oh no, Jin Lou's invested. We'll get to it. It's just blurry. So I pay for like the cheapest version of StreamYard, which is like $20 a month. So it only puts it out at like 720 on StreamYard. I did drop the link. I'll drop it again to her video. Her video goes up to 110, so it'll be, or 1080, sorry. It'll be a little clearer on her link. We're debunking tonight, Gavel. I know you're gonna want to get into some stuff later.
So again, my point on this is I truly don't even understand why any of this mattered. If Steve said stuff he shouldn't have said, then it shouldn't be made public. It should be quiet. He's a father of a murdered child. If he said stuff that shouldn't have been said, then it shouldn't have been made public. I'm a big believer in this. I feel like it was made public for clicks and views, not from deeds, from the originator. I do feel it was made public for clicks and views. I feel like Steve is being portrayed as a rock star and not as a victim, not as a grieving father. And I think it's fucking vile. Absolutely vile. So this goes on. If I was feeling better, I would elongate this, but I'm kind of rushing it because I really feel like shit. But So this goes on and on and on. And yeah, I don't know who the originator was, Crystal. I don't even know who these text messages were about, but I think it's just disgusting. Oh, she does that with a lot of people, Lindsay. Like a lot. So this goes on and on.
Made statements that, and it's in my clip if you play it, where she says that he's like vulnerable and going through so much and not thinking clearly. We had a nice conversation. They were happy to talk to me, and Steve is a strong, well-spoken father and was very grateful for me reaching out. If there was a problem with anything that I said, they could have just ignored it. They had no problem speaking to me. They respond to a lot of messages, and it was not a problem in any way, shape, or form for me to reach out to the source and get direct information to fact check. That's all I was doing, was fact checking all of the different creators that were putting these out. That's it. And then I went into, made a note about the touch screen.
Wait, let me respond to that, because you also in your post turned around and said, Steve is not an idiot or in a vulnerable, and you quoted me. When I said, Steve, just like the rest of these victims' parents, are in the most vulnerable state of mind I could ever imagine that they would ever have to be in their lives. And that I'm not going to rely on not making impulsive decisions. I've seen Steve let me finish. I've seen Steve make some choices that I think can hurt him in the long run. I'm not judging for it. I don't have to agree with it. But what I said is, while saying that they're in a vulnerable mind frame, not calling him stupid. You're damn right. He is a strong, well-spoken man. But that does not negate the fact of what happened to his child. And it's the same reason why a police officer, where the victim is related to them, is not allowed to work on that case. It's the same reason a doctor is not allowed to operate on their child, because your emotion takes the forefront and you cannot think logically. So what I said is the expectation, I think, is put on us at this point in this case. Reaching out to victims' families, I really think is doing more harm than good. And I think it's on us to not put him in this position where he could potentially get himself in an issue where down the line, it's going to affect his child's case, because we could all unanimously agree. We know that's not what Steve wants, but emotion takes the forefront. Can we not agree with that? So let's not put him in that position. That is what I said. I did not call him stupid. I said he is vulnerable, and he is in a position where he's not going to think all, I can imagine he's in a position where he's not going to think 8 steps ahead. He's going to think right now, as a dad who's looking for the killer of his child, who is being flung around with a bunch of misinformation, disinformation left.
Okay, let me just clarify that a doctor is allowed to work on their own child. They advise against it, but they are allowed. There's no rules that say they can't. Just like a lawyer should not be their own attorney, but they can be.
Right. So please do not twist what I said, because I advocate for these families, and I did not call him an idiot.
What you doing?
Well, you can play the clips. You can play the clips of what you said.
We will.
Can I say something really quickly?
Sure.
So the last time I saw Chronicles didn't appear, there was a big deal about Xana's mother and some things that had taken place. Now it's Kaylee's father. And what is going on?
It's a valid question.
I don't understand
This
this.
is the problem. These people don't go to the beginning and watch everything. They just make
I'm not
assumptions.
going to.
They run with it and make it seem, oh, now I've done something wrong with Steve G. No. And no, I wasn't bragging. I was literally repeating exactly what he said to me. It was made out as if I had done something wrong by reaching out to him, and I hadn't. He was grateful that I reached out about the messages.
I don't think it, I mean, it's people's personal choices, what they do. I personally don't think it's a good idea, but it's not my call. However, what I'm saying is that people have had issue with you, with 2 family members of victims of the Idaho
But
4.
people, it's none of their business. Nothing about Kara was anybody's actual business.
Then stop going on panel and talking about it. You've taken up hours here. Hours.
Kara never had a single problem with me ever.
That's fine. I
And
don't
neither
care.
has Steve.
Like, I think that's the issue. I don't care.
Wait, so you also contacted another family member in the same exact case?
Oh my
I
God,
had
you have no idea.
Kara
Lied about getting paid
Hannah's
all of the money
mom
that
was on
everyone
my
sent.
channel.
So both times she's reached out to family members, it's been for her own fucking content. What does that tell you?
My own
Tragedy.
No,
No.
I had been talking. No, I was hooked up with Kara. Kara wanted a safe place to speak about her feelings, her thoughts, because everybody else was treating her like shit. I gave her a safe space to do whatever she wanted to do and say whatever she wanted to say. That was it.
And then
So
you turned around and
question,
said
hold
all
on,
the money the community
hold
sent.
on, hold on, wait a second. I'm sorry, hold on.
No, you're
Question, have you ever shown proof that she reached out to you, not you reaching out to her?
Oh, let me look at my messages with her because I don't remember now who. Well, I got permission before I did, if I remember correctly. It was somebody else, another creator that was talking with her at the time. and that J-Rod was already talking with her before I did.
But here's the
And
thing, it doesn't matter.
she wanted to come on and do an interview on YouTube, but she didn't want to go to a place that was going to, bombard her or be mean to her. She wanted to be able to say what she wanted in a safe space that was supportive. And
she asked you a question. It's just a yes or no.
She asked me. She
Yeah.
asked me.
Yeah. Yes.
So now let me give notice that after all this fuck shit, this goes on and on for 9 hours. Okay? 9 hours this live is. It's actually almost 10 hours. I am not playing much more of this, but you guys get an idea of what was going on. Everybody on panel, if you want to watch it, it's on Deet's panel. Crime Sleuthin, Bang, aka Bangs, decides that she is going to strike Deets for this video after she told Deets, go ahead and play my stuff. So Deets gets struck. Last night, Crime Sleuthin goes on Queen Bee's panel. And she decides that she's going to now air this for Queen Bee's panel. And Queen Bee felt that it was definitely wrong for her to strike, and that it was definitely wrong for what happened, and that Crime Sleuthin, nobody should strike, and that she was ganged up on. Okay. So now let's go over to Queen Bee's panel and see what happened there. Okay. So now this Tia chick runs over to Queen Bee's panel because I guess they couldn't do it. She didn't talk enough on Deetz's panel. So now she runs over to Queen Bee's panel. But I just don't know why she had to be on both panels. I agree, Penny. She did do a good job until Burnt Toast went up there. It makes her look like a complete moron.
Well, that's why I said, oh no, I'm lost, and there's too much going on. I'm getting fed all kinds of shit from every different direction.
This was done. Banks did that out of spite. That's abuse of the copyright system because there was nothing that was Banks's original work. No, I just meant that you would understand it because it's the same thing. It's the same.
Right. I mean, I know Banks is a fucking asshole, and she probably did that just to be an asshole. I understand that. You know what I mean? But she just, there's a lot of people that abuse. You know what I mean? Like it just. I get why she was an asshole. And
this one was a straight up abuse, Queen. This one was done just to be an asshole. Nothing.
I have, would it be, would you want me to email?
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but did Queen Bee just strike multiple channels recently? I mean, am I crazy here? Am I missing something? But I'm pretty sure Queen Bee just struck multiple panels and didn't win any of them. But she didn't like when people talk bad about her. So keep that in mind. I wanted to make sure I didn't dream that up.
Mail you my receipts so you can show them. It's just a little tiny timeline. It's not a big deal. Or would you like me to share?
Well, go ahead. You can share. That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Let me present. I don't want to assume how you do things. I'm sorry. Okay.
Someone in QB's chat said Nunya, Galera, and Laura all went at her. What they have to do with it?
And don't forget.
Yeah, because it's like a 9 or 10 hour fucking live.
Don't forget, Melissa Jade even asked her.
Now, see, when I got it, they said Melissa Jade was the one who put them out. Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
Other way around.
Other way around what? I'm sorry.
Shit, I've got a like. Sorry.
Oh, so Crime Sleuthin's donation. We did a live on the 27th of August trying to raise funds.
You mean you and Crime Sleuthin?
No, ma'am. I mean me and my partner, LFT Decipher. The girl on the screen. See the picture of the little LFT on the screen at the bottom there, just above Crime Sleuth, and that's my partner in true crime. We are very good friends, and we run our little channel together. Okay, and we, as in, thank you for correcting
This
me.
is a true crime channel, right? That's right.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Can we drop your link in here?
Oh my God, of course you can, but that's not why I'm here.
Well, no, I know that's not why you're here, but I mean, if people want to go catch up with this, because I mean, like I said, it's a 9-hour live is a long time, and I couldn't keep up with it. And I mean, if I'm hearing shit like this, that's ass backwards. I'm sure other people are, you know.
Of course. I mean, you can, yes,
so just so we have it, if people want to go check your channel, or they want to go watch it, or they can go catch up on their own if they need to go back, you know, or they'll catch the replay, they can catch the link to the chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
what
no,
is your channel name? Because Cappy's asking what it is.
It's Decipher Podcast.
So just Decipher Podcast. Just okay, we'll
yes,
we'll
and it's got a pink logo.
Cool. Okay.
Tim's in the back, Queen.
Hey, what's up?
He's up here, baby. What's up, B-Tim? Beat up Dizzle.
Nothing much.
Trying to get to the bottom of Bangs' bullshit, obviously. And here I was thinking Bangs was the one getting fucking dog piled on. I was like, man, what the fuck are they doing to her?
Hi, B-Tim. Nice to see you.
How you
Go
doing?
ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Girl, I would.
Oh no.
I would have emailed you. I would have emailed you immediately if I thought she was getting beat up on.
No, she got called out. She didn't get beat up. She got called out. So this is a live that my partner and I did, requesting funds. Actually, we didn't request funds. What happened was we were interviewing Johnny and his family, and midway through, we were like, you know what? People are dropping cash apps and sending us super chats. Anything we get, we will give to your stepdaughter for therapy, trauma therapy, because she needs a specialized therapy. Okay. What she went through, what she saw, how this has affected her. She needs more than just your average Joe therapist. So I went out, I found a therapist in her area, a specific trauma therapist, got all the information, spoke with them. And in the middle of that live, you'll see Crime Sleuthin donated $1,000. She pledged $1,000. Her words.
Okay, I was going to say, did she donate it or pledge it? Because I've heard both. I heard she gave the money and I heard she pledged the money.
She pledged the money. Okay. And that's what it says on the screen. That's why there's no denying this bullshit right here. This is why we pull our receipts and show them, especially around these parts, because people second guess your ass. And no, you're not.
Oh, here I was feeling bad for Bangs. I'm not gonna lie, I really was. I'm like, oh no, because it's true. The both.
I have no sympathy for that woman. That woman accused me and you.
She doesn't deserve a counsel. They were going off, and I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is really going on? And she's like, can you let me talk? Can you just let me talk? And they were like, I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck?
The first 6 hours was her talking, and she was not.
Yeah, I have to watch all that. And every time I popped in, like I said, I see Chewy up on the panel talking. I'm like, no, hell no. Like I said, I got a free bias anyway, so
I get it.
That's probably.
Guys, don't hate me for this, okay? But don't count on someone's money on the internet who you know you've never even seen give money. Why are you counting on this so badly that I'm sorry, I'm not buying this. Don't hate me. Don't think I'm the worst person in the world. There is something fucking shady about this entire story that is not adding up to me. Sorry, not sorry. Something is off.
My fault for not, you know.
It's cool. That's why I'm here to just straighten out.
Live, it was gone. So I'm like, well, this is real fucking cute.
Well, and I'm here to straighten out the Decipher portion. That's it.
Okay.
You know, our portion only. Melissa is more than capable of straightening out and pulls receipts for hers and all the other things. So
right, to straighten this out, she was not the one who wrote the text messages.
So my understanding, like I just jumped on, so I'm just catching up a little bit. So
hold on, B-Tim, give me a second. I'm asking her a question. She's not the one that wrote the fucking text messages, right?
No, Melissa? No, Melissa's not the one.
Okay, so they said she was the one that either she wrote them or passed them, one or the other. That they were supposedly from the Steve, and either she wrote them or passed them.
No, Melissa's not like no.
I couldn't see her doing that, but I've seen people do other things that have blown my mind. So I can't say for sure. You know what I'm saying?
I get you. Like I said, ask all the questions. I'll give you the answers that I can.
So what I can tell you is that Melissa had the messages, and Crime Sleuthin went in and she wanted a copy of them. And then from there, Crime Sleuthin reached out to the Gonzalez family Facebook page to verify if these were real messages. And then came back and said, I talked to Steve, told Mallory that she talked to Steve and these were fake messages. And like, but it wasn't anything. It wasn't verified. It was all like, she didn't know.
It's like a Brad Pitt. It's like a Brad Pitt Facebook page. Just because you're on the Facebook page doesn't mean you're talking to Brad Pitt. Okay.
Right.
So she said she spoke with Steve. Everybody's like, okay, how do you know? Because it's a family group effort. My understanding is, and that's where it's a clusterfuck for that. I don't have any part in that. That's not my issue. I have no dog in that part.
That's a different part than what this other part is.
There's so many parts. There's so many moving parts. Our part is a completely different situation, a whole different lie, whole different bullshit than the Melissa stuff. That's a whole nother ball of wax. You guys can play with that one. So on August 27th, we did our live, talked to Johnny, interviewed him during the live. We were like, you know what, let's try and get some money for some therapy. Never in a million years did I think that we would be pledged $1,000. Never. But we were. And it was amazing. And we were very excited and the family was very moved. And the girl was so touched and she was going through such a freaking hard time. And what I can say is now, I couldn't say this last night because I wanted to get permission first, is she's 5 months pregnant now. Okay. She needed this therapy back then. There were a lot of substances and things to deal with her trauma. And now she has her first baby on the way. And this is a good thing. Obviously, we love babies. Babies are always, we love our babies. But during a traumatic time, that's really, there's a lot of layers there. So I just found this out and I wanted to let people know that. So that was the extra layer that we have going on, the shit sandwich. So do this live. She donates. She says she can't, she's pledging and she can't, she should have it by the end of September. Okay. So it's a month. We're like, okay, fine, no big deal, whatever. We heard nothing. Okay. So then October comes, or September comes, we hear nothing. October comes, we hear nothing. November comes and I'm like, this is awkward. I have to reach out to her. Like it was so fucking awkward. So I reach out with an email and I say, hope this finds you well. We wanted to talk to you about the status of the pledge to donate to help find, with the Rachel Morin case. We're looking forward to get the individual help. We're so grateful for your generosity and kindness. I will provide you with the links for your convenience to transfer the money. We will then publicly provide receipts to and for the family to receive the funds. I don't like handling money. So if I got to show receipts, I got no problem. So this was the November 10th email we sent to her. She replied immediately the next day. And it says, hello, I haven't forgotten. I was wrapping up handling probate for my dad's estate when along came a huge mess that now caused a delay, probate, closing, and therefore distribution. I don't want to get into all the stressful details as I haven't gotten all fixed yet, but suffice it to say, my probate attorney, I discovered after the fact, was doing so. Listen, I don't care.
Sounds like, honestly, it sounds like
You should have just said, I don't have the money and I can't.
Yeah, but that whole thing sounds like bullshit to me.
Right.
It's like, let's be real.
So the last line is, as soon as I have it, I will let you know.
Good, Ann. That is exactly my point. Exactly my point.
Yeah, okay. She basically, it sounds like she made this thing where she stated, oh, I have this $1,000 and I have it in the month. And then she wanted to back out and made up this whole fucking bullshit story.
Right.
Okay. That's what I just summarizing in my head. You can continue.
Thank you.
But at the same time, hold on, pause, because at the same time that this was ongoing, then she gets involved with Xana's mom, Kara, taking up abortions.
Tia, would you take a link? Because I actually have questions. I honestly have questions. And I can't stand a fucking bitch. I can't stand that fucking, what's her name? Crime sleuthing. Bangs, whatever. But I got questions. Hey, Aaron. From what I understand, a pregnant mom was in Tia's panel telling her story. CS came in with a fake pledge and stuck Tia with the bill. Tia couldn't just say, oops, never mind. I never heard that before. I don't think Tia laid out any money. Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? All right. So now I just heard something that I did not know.
Oh,
so someone said from what they understand, the pregnant mom was on Tia's panel telling her story.
Bullshit. Where?
Okay. So that's not true. Because then they said CS came in with a fake pledge and stuck Tia with the bill. Tia couldn't just say,
true.
Never mind.
That is true.
Okay. So you paid for therapy?
No, we haven't paid for the therapy yet. Her insurance. Okay. Start from the beginning. Okay. I don't want to start in the middle.
Okay, that's fine.
Tell you what to do with your channel. I apologize. That sounded really
No,
rude.
it's okay.
But let's start at the beginning and ask me questions from the beginning. Let's go through it that way. That way there's no confusion and you know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Okay. Cool beans.
Hey, Whistle Down.
Hi, real quick. I just want to apologize to Tia. I only got half of that right. Right? So she wasn't on your panel when the pledge was made. Okay. I just want to clear that up and apologize.
Her mother and her stepfather were on our panel.
Okay. All right. And then CS did come in, pledged, and just kind of left you with that, right?
Correct. 100%.
That's what I understood. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming up and asking.
No problem. Thanks, Laura.
You're welcome, Mom.
Yep.
Okay. So Bangs just is a fraud to begin with, but that's neither here nor there. So I don't know the case of Rachel. So
Okay.
pull me out of the actual case details because I don't know it. But what I am going to ask is, so Crime Sleuth and this girl, one of the searchers found, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the searchers found Rachel's body and was devastated. And she couldn't, she couldn't get the vision out of her head, which is perfectly normal.
It was a horrific murder.
Yes, she went to, she realized that she probably needed some kind of therapy, and somehow it ended up on YouTube, and Crime Sleuth and said, oh, I'll pledge $1,000, thinking that she was going to get money, and she never ended up getting the money. And that's when I jumped on panel on Deets. But now I'll back up and you could take over from that. You were going to say about her insurance. There's a lot of parts that are sketchy to me, but I don't know the whole story. So that's why I'm glad to hear it.
Let me ask you really quick, what is sketchy? Because I want to pull that shit right out of the way. I want to hit that right in the mouth. What's the sketchy part for you?
The sketchy part is, so Deets, I was there when Deets had raised the $1,300. And I was told that that's not even going for therapy.
Oh, no, it is going to therapy. That's 100% going to therapy.
I thought
Who
it was
told you that
going,
it wasn't?
they said on, I think it was on the live that, you know, she was pregnant and that diapers are expensive and that it's going for diapers and it's going for stuff because she's 5 months pregnant.
She is 5 months pregnant. None of this is going towards the baby. This is, I'm paying the doctor directly.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because that was the agreement that was made.
But does she not have insurance, Medicaid?
She has a level of insurance. The doctor that we found is a specific trauma therapist who deals with this kind of thing in her area, her local area, which is also my local area. So it was easy to do that research. Also, so we found this guy. Okay, so let's back up. Let's just, I wanted to ask you what the sketchy part was so I could make sure that I covered that directly with you. Because here's the thing, you're a straight shooter. I'm very much a straight shooter. So if you ask me a direct question, I'm going to give you a direct answer. I want to back up though and tell you the story so that you have an understanding of not what was heard on panel from whoever, whatever. Here's what happened. Rachel Morin went for a run. She did not return. She was found the following day horrifically attacked, disfigured in a tunnel on a walking trail.
Did they find him?
No, he's still out there. They have his DNA, but he's still out there.
Okay.
Long story. We'll get into that as well.
Okay.
He did another crime in LA, which is where he attacked someone else there, and they got his DNA from that. When Rachel was found, they ran DNA from her, and he was the hit on that. We don't have a name, and he is still out there. So that's
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, and we're doing everything we can, not impeding the case, helping the families, letting law enforcement do their job, but keeping Rachel's name in the public eye for positive reasons so that we can catch this killer. Okay. I am not the person out there going, we're going to catch this guy. I don't have a Superman cape and I'm not in law enforcement. I'm here to help those in the back, in the back area, the families. You know what I'm saying? We do our research. We work with them. We have all the information. We're probably the people, we have the most accurate timeline for what happened with Rachel that day. We cannot give it out until after the case goes to court. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
So this girl finds out, who is a friend of Rachel's. She's in the local area and she says, like any young 20-something-year-old does, oh, let's go look for her. Let's see if we can find her. You know what I mean? Kind of, that cocky little attitude we all have when we're in our 20s, like, no big deal. Well, son of a bitch, she found her. and
How
didn't
did she
know
find her and the cops didn't?
because she was off the trail about 70 yards in a tunnel.
Okay.
This girl happened to look down and see. No one even knew the tunnels were there. Okay. But she was inside the tunnel. So this girl went off the beaten path and found her and came back and called 911, told them where to find her, leading the police to where she was. She was the person to discover her. She was standing there with her by herself with her friend. But just in a horrible situation.
Okay.
So hence some of the trauma. You're standing in the middle of the woods with you and your friend, and you have this horrific scene in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're just going because you're Billy Badass. You're going to go out there and I'm going to go find somebody.
No, you
saying
never
that's what
get
she
that
did.
vision in your head.
But I don't think she realized she was actually going to find her. Okay.
True.
So when she did, it was obviously horrible. It caused some personal issues in her life. Let's say she was really upset and she maybe drank more than usual or did more than, you know what I'm you get where I'm
Okay.
going.
Fair enough.
Because, this is, and also because this guy hasn't been caught and this girl's name is out there, she's terrified. Terrified.
Okay.
So she's
Makes
a true
sense.
victim. She's a true victim.
Mm-hmm.
I met her stepfather. Oh God, how did I meet? I don't even know how I met him now. LFT is in chat. How the hell? I'm here. What can we clarify? Because what the hell? How did we meet Black Hawk? God, it's somehow Black Hawk, her stepfather, he's on the news giving all these interviews, blah, blah, blah. They were a bit ambiguous. They were a bit, I'm trying to be polite here, off topic, and they led people to believe certain things that weren't exactly the truth.
Rachel's parents or the girl's parents?
The girl's parents.
Okay.
Okay. So, and he was kind of in the spotlight a little bit. Yes, Johnny. And, he did a lot of interviews and did a lot of YouTube. I honestly can't remember how I met him, but I met him at the trail. Was the first time I met him. And we talked for about an hour.
Okay.
And he was telling me, about his stepdaughter and just how she was really suffering and this was back in late August, mid to late August.
Okay.
Rachel was found on August 6th. So I met Johnny early on in that. And we talked on the trail. He was telling me about his stepdaughter and just how she was suffering, basically, how this really messed with her. And I said, we run a true crime podcast. We'd like to help. We'd like to, do what we can. Let me find a doctor in, the local area. Let's try and get her some help, some specific help.
Okay.
And that's how we became involved with that portion of the family.
Okay.
Now, separately, and not to be included in this portion of it, we are involved with Rachel's family. But I really don't even, I want to push that all aside because I don't want her name brought into this bullshit.
Okay. I understand.
So, so we meet, we do a live, we have them on our live. And during the middle of the live, we're like, you know what, let's raise some funds for his stepdaughter. Let's try and do this. There are many generous people in our little chat. We're not a big channel and we're very cool with that. Believe me, this is not a sub grab. We like our little area of the world. We don't bug anybody. We try not to let anybody bug us.
Okay.
We're just trying to do our thing for the right reasons and not the wrong reasons. We don't make money on our channel. We donate to Rachel's children. We donate to charities or we donate to this girl. That's where our YouTube money goes if we actually make $100. Okay.
Okay. Can I also point something out that it needs to be said because a lot of people think that the opposite. It's okay if you make money on YouTube. A lot of people seem to think that that they're better than someone that does make money. It's perfectly okay to say that you make money on YouTube and a percentage goes to whatever donations or a percentage goes to, whoever. So
I
know some-
100% agree with you. And if
Yes.
that's how I came off, that I want to apologize because that's not who we are either. I'm not here to judge anybody who makes money or doesn't make money.
No,
If you
I'm
make
saying
money
for
on your
your own
channel,
benefit, that I
yeah,
want you to be like, yeah, I make money on YouTube and I'm okay. And we give a percentage of money
I
to
wish we
so and
did.
so.
Laura, no bullshit. We make $100. I will
Ah.
pull up anytime.
When you do get to that point, then.
Right.
Okay.
We donate our time and money of what we do because we enjoy what we do. When I say we, I mean
Okay.
LFT, who's also in the
Mhm.
chat. She's my partner in true crime.
Okay.
Also my best friend. Also the brains behind everything that we do. So don't get it twisted. I'm not the brains. She's the brains.
Okay. So how did
Um,
how did Bangs get involved in all this?
Bangs got involved because Crime Sleuthing got involved because we did the live with Johnny Blackhawk talking about the Rachel Morn case, and she came in. You got the screenshot there in the timeline up that says she wanted to pledge $1,000. That was on August 27th. We were like, holy shnikes, this is amazing. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to get the therapy, the specialized therapy that she needs. Okay.
And you knew nothing about her prior.
Crime sleuthing?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I had been introduced to her channel through another channel, but we're not friends.
Yeah, she's
We
fucking
don't.
crazy.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
That shit crazy.
Her pledges shouldn't have been brought back up to another panel. Then she shouldn't publicly be putting them out there. That's bottom line. If she didn't publicly want it out there, she shouldn't have done it publicly.
I agree.
Bottom line. So she does the pledge publicly and she says in there, like, I won't have it for another month. Okay, cool. Groovy. No big deal. As we do, we let everybody know. Also, and this is really important, I want to say this because this is part of Decipher and how we think. When we raise money for something, if you see a $100 donation on the screen, you're going to get the $100 donation. We're not going to give you 70 because YouTube only pays us 30 and the math and I don't give a shit about that, and neither does the victims' families. If you're raising money for something, give them the fucking money. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're looking at that going, oh my God, that's $100. That can go for this, that, or the other. So that's to be noted. When you see the amount on our screen, that's the amount that we are going to donate. We're not going to get into them with YouTube only pays us this amount and that amount. And I don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
No, I 100% agree with you because I've done a lot of fundraisers and I donate on my screen like the same day, at the end of the live. And I don't contribute to the 40% or the 30%. It's like, it is what it is. If I raise, let's say $1,000, we donate 1,000. If I raise $100 and that's what we'll donate is 100. So I'm 100% with you on that.
They don't understand and they don't know the ins and outs of YouTube, and they don't have to worry about that. That's not their job. That's my job. If we're doing the fundraiser, that's my job. And so when that $1,000 came across, it was like, this is, we're not going through. And we had the conversation, like she was going to donate it directly to the family. Like, we're not a part of this. And here's where my problem comes in and my fault. And I'm going to own this because I learned a valuable lesson during this in the last 24 hours. I said things like, my victim, and we want our money. That's not a fair statement. None of that is our money. And it's not my victim. I should not be and I was schooled on this yesterday. So I want to be very clear. I learned a very valuable lesson with taking ownership of that, because it appears as though it is my money. It is not. Never has been, never will be. It is also not my victim. I take ownership like that. I'm Italian, and we kind of, it's a really bad habit of mine. I own that that was a mistake on my part for taking ownership on things I shouldn't have.
Okay.
I want to be very clear on that. So when I said things like, you owe us $1,000, I should have said, you owe the family of such and such $1,000, but I didn't. I was angry.
That's
not
normal.
an accurate,
I
but
understand.
I'm trying to be crystal clear and 100% honest here. So
Mhm.
there's no, it was a valuable lesson for me. So I'm learning, this is, I think, our 3rd year doing this, and I learn every day. So I make mistakes every day.
No, I think that's very commendable.
I'm not trying to be commendable. I'm trying to be honest. I swear to God. Because the fact is, I never wanted to deal with this money. And that, I believe I said that on the live. I'm not sure. I don't want this money coming through Decipher. I did not want that. I wanted the money to go either straight to the doctor, straight to the victim, whatever, but not through Decipher. Unfortunately, it's come through Decipher, and we put our screenshots out there, and we will continue to do that to show where the money has gone, who the money has gone to, and etc. for the donations from Deets on the Streets. So, okay, what else can I tell you? So she donated the money. It's been a month. We hadn't heard anything. The month goes by, another month goes by, 6 weeks. And I finally reach out to her on an email, which you have on that timeline, which was so freaking awkward, because it's like, I really didn't know what to say.
Okay.
Like, where's the money is what I wanted to say. But it was like, if you scroll in that timeline, you'll see my, hi, just checking on the status of the $1,000 donation that you made. I was dancing. I really was very uncomfortable asking.
I think part of my issue and a lot of people's issues, we all know what a piece of shit she is and what a scammer she is. So knowing that you didn't know who she was kind of changes things, because not knowing anything about her, yeah, I would email her too. Where the fuck is my money? Like, you promised me $1,000. I thought, because I didn't know you at all, I thought that you didn't know that you knew who she was, and that it was like you've watched her and you know how crazy she is and what a fucking whack job she is. So that's why I thought, why didn't you just blow off this money? Like, how do you know her, and why are you like hounding her? And I think a lot of people thought like I did. So cannot thank you enough for coming up here and explaining all this, because I know my thoughts are not just mine. I know a lot of people are thinking the same way I was. Like, how do you not know she's a fucking whack job? But if you didn't know who she was to begin with, now all of this makes perfect sense.
No, I didn't know her. We knew her from occasionally popping into our lives. In fact, we got in trouble because she would come to our lives, and I have emails from her that state, I come to your lives, how come you never come to ours? I don't know. We're busy. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. I'm sorry. I try very hard to support as many channels as we possibly can, but like, I really didn't know this lady very well. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a good thing. Believe me, that's a good thing.
We just didn't know. It is what it is. So we send her that email, hey, what's the status of the money email? And we get back some long thing about probate. And to be honest with you, you have it up. I don't even know what it is. I stopped reading it and I was like, okay, whatever. I read the last line that said, I'll be in contact with you as soon as I get it. Okay, fine. Fine. That's where I left it, right there. She'll be in contact. Well, then March comes around. This is November now.
Okay.
March comes around. We have still heard nothing from her. Nothing. And she's doing all kinds of fun little fundraisers on her own channel. And I'm hearing how things aren't adding up with Idaho 4 family stuff. And I'm like, huh? What you talking about, Willis? How come you're able to do all this and do these giveaways and all this other stuff, and you're not able to contribute to what you have originally said you would months ago? That's where I
Okay.
came in and said, what the fuck? I'm rude. I didn't ask if I could curse. Sorry. That was rude. I apologize. What the heck is what I should have said. So then I go on Deet's panel for the first time with her, and I'm just like, calling her out because it's time. It's totally time. Like, it's been 8 months and no word. No word. And then I get another email last week that says, I want to talk to you about something. And I'm like, okay, what? And, I get this all about her feelings. I don't care.
That's her. That's crazy ass bitch that she is.
I mean, the emails are all there for you. You can read them. I didn't care about her feelings because my care is with the victim and her feelings and what's going on there.
Absolutely.
And what I found out between that week's time is that our victim is 5 months pregnant.
Okay.
So that's when the pregnancy thing came out, because I was like, oh shit, okay. Well, this is slightly concerning because I have a person who's traumatically, hold on a second. But it was not true. CS had to rescind her pledge out loud. Bullshit, she didn't. You know why? It's a legal binding contract. And I had lawyers in there saying to me, she needs to say this out loud. So Penny, you're wrong. It was a legal binding contract that she made on a public forum. I needed her to say, she needed to say out loud that she was not going to continue. And we were done. And that was it. And Penny, I'm done responding with you. I'm done. Just so you know.
Close chat when I'm talking.
Pardon me? I'm sorry. What did you say?
I've learned to close chat while I'm talking.
Oh, you're so smart. I should learn that.
I just started.
I had enough. I had enough of hearing things and not having any response. And the feelings email I just was so misguided, and just like there was nothing in there about the victim and concern. It was all about her. And I was like, I don't care. I just don't care. I'm sorry. I think that's awful that I don't, but I don't. I care about what's not more important here is you. My victim, see, there I go. Somebody correct me when I say that. That's wrong. The victim is way more important than any YouTube creator that I know.
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line, and that's where I stand.
Considering that you did not know her, I cannot hold you accountable for not just blowing it off. Because if you knew her, like I said, if I said to Dietz, I'm going to pledge $1,000, and I didn't give it to her, and I said, look, something came up, I know Dietz wouldn't hold me to it. Like, all right, I totally understand. I know you're a woman of your word. So if, something came up, I totally get it. But in this situation, if she didn't know me at all, and I just some random person, like if I walked into Vinnie Politano's live and said, I'm going to pledge $1,000, yeah, I would expect them to hold me to it no matter what.
Right. And on any platform, be it 30 people watching or 300 or 30,000 people watching, you should be held accountable for your actions, me included. And I try very hard.
Mm-hmm.
I really, I hold myself accountable when I screw things up. And to be fair, I didn't handle this whole situation this weekend properly. You know, I let my emotions get the best of me on Deet's panel, and I went off on CS a couple of times when I really wish I hadn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't beat yourself up over that.
You know, like I said, I'm an emotional creature, so you know, it's gonna be emotion first.
I understand.
I
know all about that.
Do you know about that?
I know all about that.
Plus the fact I did have a really good Laura one-liner in there. I just want to say I did the, oh, wait.
That's right. I heard somebody say that. I laughed.
Yeah.
Crime sleuthing?
So,
oh, wait.
That's exactly right.
Can
No,
y'all hear me by chance?
Hey,
Yes, ma'am.
LFT. I
Hey.
was going to say LTF.
No, oh, thank you. You got it right. I just wanted to chime in just really fast. The thing with this is it's actually very simple when it comes to our involvement in the debacle. I guess I call it a debacle this weekend, because I can only, and we will only speak for our engagement and interaction with CS and what was promised, etc. You know, I don't really care about the rest, but it's very simple because on that very first live, when we decided that, you know, whatever was generated that night, like we wanted to give to this young adult who found Rachel and has been traumatized, you know, that was it. And Crime Sleuthing came in and publicly made a very, like, I mean, generous offer, blew us all away. And that's it, because we provided, and we said that definitely. I do remember this on the live that time, that night specifically. We made it clear, like, get the money to the family.
We did say that, right?
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Okay.
So just
well,
I
the
want
live's
that
up.
to be,
You can
anyone, yes, of course,
call
go
us
back and
out.
watch it. But and so we didn't hound Crime Sleuthing or anything like that. I'm sure the panels this weekend probably give a different picture than that. But in all honesty, like, we hadn't been like, we didn't talk about it publicly. Like, I mean, like she said, we've had some emails back and forth. We weren't on her every day. It's something Tia and I spoke about, you know, just being like, we got to follow up on this. And because it gets awkward, and you have a victim. I mean, there are multiple victims in all this, but this victim specifically is what she wanted to contribute to, because like I said, I don't know her whole backstory, but something seemed to resonate with her on a personal level, and she wanted to provide and to assist because out of the goodness of her heart. And she got, I think, the way too in that moment, because this is right after, it's been a couple weeks after this had all happened, and so it really resonated and like meant a lot, I think, to Blackhawk and his family and his stepdaughter.
So now, why doesn't he have insurance or medical?
I know that
Here's about that, and I'm gonna like jump all over this. LFT is so nice, Angel. She's my best friend. That right there is none of our business. And there's circumstances around that of which I say that. We are very specialized with one territory, one spot of her life. And I'm not going to say if, when, how, what insurance she has, or her medical coverage of any kind. I refuse to talk about that.
No, I understand, but I'm saying that if someone needs trauma therapy, they have insurance, and if you can't afford insurance, you can get Medicaid. There's
right,
other revenues,
and they're specialized programs, and exactly.
And that
here,
is that being covered? Yes. Yes. Is our we're going to call him our special doctor. I don't know. Frankly, that's, you know, if her insurance covers some of it, great. If it doesn't, well, here's the amount of money we have to help get her where she needs to be. And
And I
that's
think,
it.
and I think that another point is, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but this wasn't like Daddy Warbucks did not stumble upon Rachel, like find Rachel and have to go through this. You know what I mean? It
Correct.
wasn't like they had everything at their disposal to now deal with the needs that have been placed upon them in this situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, there are avenues, and there are options that is stuff that can and will be covered, but it's more than that. And that's just,
there's a lot behind it.
There's a lot behind it. And the point was that the
shouldn't
pledge
talk
was
about.
made.
How about that?
Yeah. And I think the point was that the pledge was made to be able to help this girl in whatever way she needed. We have promoted it, and especially in terms of whatever she needs in terms of therapy to better herself, to be able to deal with what she's just gone through, and to continue to be productive and stuff and not spiral and go backwards. That's the only thing that we don't even have to say.
Here's how much I will tell you on the subject, and this is as far as I will go. She had a wonderful job, and I believe still does have a wonderful job, but for a little while there couldn't leave her house to go to work because she was terrified.
Okay.
Absolutely freaking terrified. I'm not in her head. I don't know why. I don't know what, and I don't know what she saw. I don't know what the circumstances were in that tunnel. I know a lot about it, but I wasn't there and I didn't see what she saw.
Okay. Hold on.
And that's
Copa,
where
no, that's not what they're saying. They're saying that at the time, her money definitely would have helped. They're not saying that she
Absolutely.
couldn't get therapy because of crime sleuthing. They're saying that the money from crime sleuthing definitely would have helped at that time. That's what I'm gathering, correct?
That's 100%
Yeah, I mean,
correct.
yes, and it was just that simple. It was just whatever we had made in terms of super chats or whatnot, like we said it on that live, like we want to get this to her, to this girl for her needs and whatever she's dealing with after stumbling upon a body. That's it. And doing so, we followed through with that. As we said that is when CS came in and publicly wanted to offer, and she told the family this is what she was going to do. And so that's it. And we knew that whatever money, she knew what it was for, we know what it's for. It was just going to support her and help her deal with what she's gone through.
Could you highlight Kiki's comment for me personally, just so I think it's an important comment, and I'm trying to throw some hints without being a jerk.
The butting in for 1 second?
No, minus 250 a visit. That one? Down
Yeah,
close to
that
the
was
bottom.
after. The first one said
Okay.
the butting in for 1 second. Just popped in to see what you're talking about. My therapist doesn't take any insurance. It is cash basis only. And I have great insurance. It is their policy. So then after that, Kiki said minus $250 a visit every time. And I'm in LA. They do not take insurance at mine.
So for specialized therapies, and I'm trying to like dance around things without HIPAA and getting in trouble. For some specialized therapies, they don't take insurance. I don't know whether her insurance will cover this or not because that's not my business. My business is simply to help where we can and let them deal with the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like
it does.
That's
I guess it's just not that deep for us.
I mean, I know it is, like, we know it is deep, but like it just taking a step back and trying not, like, I don't think it's anything that really needs to be picked apart, because I think that's where we lose the focus. And the whole point was, it was just, we were willing to make a contribution to help her during her time of need. And then we had a very generous and, I mean, knock you off your, like, unexpected pledge made publicly. And I just remember the faces, like, because I know I was not on camera, but they like Johnny and believe, can't remember if his wife was up there, but whatever, they were on camera and you just saw it. Like it was so, they didn't expect
I mean,
it.
Johnny
It was so
cried.
much
Johnny
appreciated.
cried.
Yeah.
He called me that
And
night and he cried and he said, "Thank you for helping our daughter." And oh my God, last night he messaged me and said, "Thank you for continuing to help my daughter." Even 8 months later and
yeah.
fighting.
And so whatever the whole point was, these donations were made publicly, promised publicly, however you want to phrase it. And that was all. We just need to be sure that we follow through on that. That is it. There's nothing else to it. How
it happened
I
on
just wanted
Decipher's watch, and we had to hold our feet to the fire.
But I do echo what Tia said, though. In all honesty, I don't even understand this. Idaho, I'm lost on that. I had no idea about we had no idea about the dynamics and past behaviors maybe that she may have been involved with, or how.
Oh yeah, she's crazy.
We were not aware. And so unfortunately this donation thing, I guess something revved up that, was a catalyst to bring more attention to whatever CS was doing. And that is how this all came about for us as Decipher and that $1,000 pledge. And that's all. I mean, I don't mean to minimize it, but that's all it was. Do you know what I mean? Like, we just were like, whoa, hold on, this is what we have to deal with. And this is our experience with her and what we are currently we're still working on, because as far as, at that time, as far as we knew, she had some stuff going on. We were waiting, but
we're like the post office, though. It was supposed to just come like through us and go away. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't want any part of this. Money makes you dirty.
The fact that you didn't know her, it changes everything for me. So personally, I just want to say I apologize that calling the situation was shady. My mom and my doctor said every time that happens, just say you have chemo brain and nobody can say anything. Yeah. So I'm just going to claim chemo brain and that's it. But
I'm sorry about that, by the way.
Thanks. But I do apologize for calling you shady, because I do feel like that, I just automatically assumed that you knew her and you knew her history. And this was just like a gang up on, her just to be an asshole. And
I get that.
No.
Anyway, so that was the impression that a lot of us had, not just me. A lot of us had that impression.
Sure.
So I'm just glad that it absolutely got straightened out.
I appreciate you allowing us to come up and ask us questions.
Yeah, because I'm telling you a lot.
And I don't mean to drop our email, but if there are other questions, please email us, because we would rather just address it and make sure,
absolutely
things aren't misconstrued. Like, because I would just rather address it and be like, no, here's what it is, and that's it.
Just the fact that you didn't even know her, it changes everything for me. Hey, Lady V, just totally changes everything for me, because
we didn't know her. Okay.
Yeah. The fact that you didn't know her just changed everything.
Well, let me tell you how much I didn't.
Everything.
Let me tell you how much I didn't know her. I didn't know that she was coffee fueled by true crime. I didn't know that was her.
I had no idea.
You knocked me over with a feather. So this is how dumb we're just dumb. We're just dumb.
She's crazy.
Dumb in this sense. We were naive. We were not dumb. We were naive and we were not aware. But I understand how it probably looked in the context of this weekend. I do get that, because for me, like I said, for me to take a link and to address it, that's when we've hit our.
She's yeah. She is yeah.
I don't I don't engage with it. I don't do the BS. It takes a lot.
I will. She won't.
I will not. And but I do support Tia, and I will take a link certainly in this, because it's very important to us. And I think it's important that people are aware of what happened. And and how we were specifically involved, because a lot of it, like you've just pointed out, Laura, we didn't know, and so a ton of that other stuff that was going on, I have to admit, I was going, oh shit, like hearing all this stuff, like it's unfortunate, but I certainly don't want Decipher's name tied to much more of this other than just we cap this off. Like, I'm glad it's been addressed, and I'm so thank you for letting us come up and to answer the questions and to be willing to be like, wait a minute, can you explain it? I just appreciate
I want to
it
be grateful to all those that donated from Deets Live the other night. Those are the people that need. They're the. Yes, my email is on our about section, Kiki. And I just, like I said, those are the real heroes. Those are the people that came through.
And that
I know
was
that
never
there
our
are
intention.
creators. No, I know there's creators
That
on
was
that
so
list. I
pleasant.
know there's subscribers on that list, and we're really, really grateful. And like I said, on whatever panel I don't even know where I was now. I'm done talking about this after tonight. I got to be real with you. I'm really done talking about it. And no disrespect to you. I'm just saying, like, people can think what they want at this point. We're not going to correct the thinking anymore. If you think ill of us because of this, that's totally cool. That's you. We're going to keep on keeping on over here and doing the best that we can.
I agree.
It's like when it comes to Facebook, I say my rule is you give it, like if you're in a comment or something, I go you give 2 replies and then you're done, because there's it's not worth it to engage. Yeah.
Just remember, if and when you do start making money on YouTube, don't be ashamed of it.
No, and thank you for that. That's a great lesson. I'm not ashamed of it. We just don't make money.
I can assure you, we do not get a monthly check. Let's just put it that way. There's no monthly check.
You will eventually. If you keep at it, you will eventually.
The thing is with us, though, we don't go live enough. We do more research and helping behind. We don't do a lot of lives. So that's part of consistency is our issue. Let's just say that. Consistency is our issue. YouTube doesn't mean much to us. Helping people does. And I'm not trying to, oh God, that sounds so fucking arrogant, but I swear to God, it's the truth. It's like, we're not here. When I came on YouTube, I came to make friends. I came to hang out in communities and have fun. And I got caught up in the true crime community. And I was in love with the fact that we could help people without being involved. And I found this beautiful creature, with me, and we started this channel, and that's it. I mean, we're not that deep, you guys. We're not that deep.
In the research we are, when it comes to the research we are, and that was like our biggest downfall. Like seriously, the amount of binders and big ass pieces of paper, and I mean, like I have drawers filled. We do so much, and then it's like, well, hell, like that's something we're learning, because it's like we do all this, and then we'll share it with certain people or whatnot, but we do the work and then don't actively go out consistently and talk about it or do a live about it because we get so wrapped up in it. So it's something we're definitely we're working on.
But just remember too, and a lot of people, I don't want to say forget this, but I think forgetting is a good one, is when you have a platform like YouTube that has 300,000 uploads every 30 seconds, and you're reaching millions upon billions of people that, will find you eventually, hopefully. But when you have that kind of audience, then your research and your help can be phenomenal. And you can help more families with a platform like YouTube than any other platform in the world, even like local news media, because that's local. But YouTube is the whole world. So there's really no other platform other than, other copycat platforms. But as far as reaching families or, doing what you want to do best, you can't ask for a better platform than YouTube, and a way to, help people make money, get a story out, whatever. Think about it.
We also have never contacted a family. Never.
No.
See,
They've contacted us.
For me personally, if I contact a family, it's because I'm a nosy bitch and I want to know the inside of that story. Not because I want to make money on the story. I just want to know the inside of the story. I want to know, you know, what the person was about, what could have led them to this path, what, you know, just thinking like of an OD, you know, like what led them down that path. Like I'm just nosy like that.
But I
want
think we all are, and that's what brings us all here. And I think that's the truth. I think that's the bottom line. I think we're all nosy bitches. And I think we all want to know. And I don't think that any one of us in this chat, on this platform, in this true crime community can say any different. I think that's probably the most honest statement. We're all nosy bitches.
But I think it's to each his own how you decide to run your channel. And I don't like, you know what I mean? Like,
no judging anybody who makes
like,
money. We envy those who make money. God bless you. God bless you. No joke. I think it's awesome.
It takes time though.
It does take time, and I'm not here to judge anybody whether they do or they don't. I think it's awesome if you can. Someday, maybe not. I don't know. Again, you know, we're just doing our thing and trudging along over here. We're not trying to be the next big thing at all. That's not our jam. We're good where we are. We're good. We were a D- on Social Blade, just so you know. So we haven't grown much.
You will. You'll get there.
We will.
But I want to thank both of you guys for coming up. I
No,
want to thank you both for straightening everything out. Like I said, I apologize for thinking
No
the
apologies.
other way the first, you know, when I first started the live, and I totally have a different opinion now. So I want to thank you for that.
I want to thank you for calling us out. I do. I got a message that was like, get to Laura's. And I was like, oh shit. I've never been summoned. Thank you very much for your time. I really hope you're doing well, by the way. And prayers for healing.
It was rough. It was really rough this time.
Was it? I'm sorry.
I know it's so difficult, but hang in there and just take care of yourself. And I mean, you have our best, and just sending you the warmest well wishes, because I know it's not easy. And again, thank you. Yeah, I echo Tia. Appreciate the opportunity just to clarify. And I think if anything this weekend has taught us, or at least me, oh my gosh, just like, Lord, either humble yourself in some way and in a position and like own shit and be like, you know what, screw whatever. You know what I mean? This weekend has just taught me a lot, and it's taught me like what good Lord, what I don't want to have my foot in anymore and what I do. But I do think, like right now, just being able to come up here, I would have never done this before. And I'm just glad that you asked, gave the opportunity, and we could help
guys
settle it.
It's like
No,
scary.
absolutely.
She's
I'm
like
glad
an
you guys
OG.
came up.
All right. Thank you so much. I hope you are doing well. And you. It's scary.
All right. You guys both have a wonderful night.
All right. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good week.
Take care.
All right, guys. Spitfire. Don't be screaming someone else's video while I'm talking, having a deep conversation. That was kind of wrong. All right. So before I get to those videos, let's get to the part that I wanted to talk about. Hold on. Where is... Here it is. If this is not hypocrisy at its finest, I don't know what is. This is called HIVEPOCRISY, 150%.
And so I can say with 100% certainty that this was not a fake messaging app. I have seen it with my own eyes. I have the proof. I cannot tell you who was behind the account physically typing, but
2 lives you called me out.
One point where the victim's family, Laura names, that's on you. But it's not, oh, everyone was ganging up on her. No, you can't just run your mouth and then expect nobody to address it.
But no,
And
there
I
were
like to.
there were
Can I hold
9
on?
people up there. 9
Wait,
people,
no,
and I was not allowed
No,
to get
please
one
stop.
word
Please
in.
stop.
You
No,
had
you
all.
and then percentages of your content. So it'll
Right.
say maybe 10% or 80% or whatever.
Yeah,
That is a
I
list.
just showed that.
Oh, I didn't
Right.
know
So
that.
that gives you a list of the people who have.
So let me give you a little background. Burnt Toast goes up on Queen Bee's panel, who is the queen of fucking striking people lately. And because she lost all of her strikes, now all of a sudden she thinks differently. And Burnt Toast goes up there screaming and hollering how she doesn't believe in people false striking. It was the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard. And I'm sitting there like, is she hearing herself like for real?
Have fair used your content, because unless it is 100%, they have used fair use in some way. Otherwise, it would have been 100%. 100% is when they are just playing your stuff from start to finish, and they are not utilizing fair use. So that I just wanted to. I'm not saying that you did. I'm just making a general statement because I've seen a lot of people false striking people, and I feel some type of way about that. So when you see a list of people on there who have used different percentages of your content, that is not supposed to be a list of people that you strike. I just wanted to be clear about that. Again, not saying that you said that. I'm just making a general statement. And
was she talking to Queen Bee in that? That's what I want to know. Because it sounds to me like she needs to be addressing her buddy with that and not just crime sleuthing. Just saying.
And again, unless it is like 90%
Blatant.
or 100%,
Well,
you really shouldn't even be striking them to begin with.
That was really informative, and I'm actually really grateful for that because I'm in there now trying to learn. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wait, does that show up on a graph, or is that like is it the piece
It will
of like
actually, it'll have a list. It'll have the title of the strain that they used. It'll say what channel used it. Then
now, what Burnt Toast is explaining, she's actually correct in this, but I just couldn't believe that she goes on Queen Bee's panel and says all this, and nobody says a word. Nobody's saying a word. This is exactly what Queen Bee struck in your own words for. And if exactly, Gemini, if you have such a problem with this, then why didn't you speak to your own buddy about it?
Sometimes it will say, if I remember correctly, it will actually have the title of their stream, the date, percentage of the content used. It has all of that, and you can sort it by date. You can sort it by percentage, I believe. It's very user.
We don't have to worry about this.
And I also have another question. Please tell me where Queen Bee gets off saying, let's count those coins. There's nobody here that makes more money than she does. So whose coins is she counting? That was my other question. I didn't understand her title. Let's count those coins. She makes more money than most of us put together. So what is she talking about?
I know we really don't.
Yeah, the only reason why I even know about this is because I've been struck so many times falsely. So I have been through this for like 4 years, over and over and over and over again. So I feel some type of way when I see people just striking like whole ass streams down, and it's clearly fair use. I didn't watch the stream. I don't do true crime content. I don't have a dog in this fight. But my question to those on panel who know is, did Dietz pause for commentary, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Then it was fair use, period.
Does, in your own words, pause for commentary? Yes. So it's fair use. So why is nobody saying anything on the panel?
On top of that,
she
that
didn't.
document.
So
Hang on.
well,
Can I finish? Can I
that
please
is
let
that
me
is
finish?
subjective though. But go ahead.
It's not. It's called. It's a
not.
federal law.
I
It's
think
fair
their
use.
answer. They're answering in their opinion, and their opinion is
No,
biased. Therefore,
It
it's
doesn't
subjective.
matter. It's still fair use.
Well,
I
I'm
review
telling you
people
that
all
in
the time.
but that
I want to know if this was a conversation that she had with Queen Bee about fair use. I really want to know.
that's not what happened. They're actually wrong. They're just biased. So they're, oh yes, of course she paused. That's not
Okay.
actually what happened. I have it recorded.
But how does that, if you're,
I
like you're
only-
saying in our, wait, Crumplusen, you said that's in our opinion. In your opinion, or in the public, how does your opinion supersede
Trump.
the opinion of how the opinion of the creator who's using it? And I would assume all of us in our right sense of mind always attempt to use things in fair use. I don't think any of us want to be struck, whether you're drama, Queen, drama, crime to makeup. I don't give a do what you do. But like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you, who gets to trump?
Okay,
Can we
let
address
me
the
answer
fact
that.
that she
Can I
signed the
answer?
document under penalty of perjury? And if it's
Can
a
I
false
answer,
strike,
Voices?
that's a lie.
Well, hold on, let her finish. Hold on.
Was none of this said to Queen Bee about striking all these channels? That's what I want to know. Because I don't think anybody said anything to her striking, in your own words, or any other channel that she, or Sinner, or any other channel she went on. Not a word.
Hold on, let her finish. She was speaking. We're trying to be, we're trying to have a
I was
conversation.
asked a question and I wasn't allowed to answer it. So
Actually, Voices was speaking, but
why? I was the one asked the question.
Well, if anyone.
And I also want to point out, I had this laid out much better before I got sick. And then I've just been sick all day. So I apologize for being scatterbrained. This was not how my life was supposed to go. I had everything mapped out and I just fucking lost it.
Would answer my question. I'm genuinely asking,
I didn't.
because I understand what
ask
you're.
again. Ask one more
As
time.
I explained, I wrote down specific timestamps where she was playing my content, and that is the only, and it was a lot of her live that she was playing my content that she did not have permission to play.
Hold on.
You do understand that you don't have to give permission, but fair use does not require them to get permission from you.
Right.
That is a federal law. I'm assuming you live in the
fair
US,
use.
and that's how it is in the US.
I fully understand fair use.
Okay,
But
well, you say you understand fair use, but you're saying that deeds needed permission, and that's not how that works.
Again, did you say all this to QB?
I would be a lot more inclined to understand and to be able to, try to put myself in your position, Crime Sleuthing, had we not all been engaged willingly on a panel, participating on a panel, and or in the chat, whether once we were on or off panel. That's where you're losing me a little bit, and I'm just trying to understand, because this,
I'm trying to answer,
crap, you're not
keep talking over me. So
That's pretty much the gist of what I want to show you at Burnt Toast. But I thought that was the most hypocritical shit I ever heard in my life. I'm like, what a fucking idiot. I'm like, Burnt Toast, you couldn't sound more like an idiot if you tried. Hold on. You guys want to see new videos? Oh, it's a long one too. I like long videos. It definitely wasn't a good weekend. I agree. Hey, Love Wins.
Content Amnesia, Episode 7. We learned from Burnt Toast in our video Content Amnesia episode Lawsuits that falsely accusing someone of committing a crime is defamation per se. In this video, you can decide if this was done again, or is this different?
Well, that's kind of weird that like I legit just did this and they put out the video at the same time. That's kind of weird.
Just because you end with like an allegation allegedly doesn't necessarily save you from being fucked with legally, civilly. That was another thing these people have no clue of. It's like me stating like Queen Bee is a killer. Queen Bee's a killer, allegedly. She must have done it, allegedly. It's like that doesn't work.
Yeah, you can't make a factual statement and then follow it up with allegedly. That doesn't work.
Like, holy fuck. What a bunch of fucking morons, I swear.
Worker B. Tim and Voices agree that saying factual statements and following it up with allegedly does not make it okay to say false criminal activities.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she was spreading the whole misinformation.
Hold
about,
on.
oh,
I have a question real quick.
depends on the question.
Listen, so the Stacey Slay situation, there was like a fake Fed or whatever.
She was supposed to debunk that. Deed said she was going to debunk that.
Well, first of all, I've never have heard it was like I've never heard that Dietz was the fake Fed. Never heard that.
Queen Bee says she's never heard that Dietz on the streets was Stacey Slay, a person who faked that they were a federal agent.
Dietz said she left because of Benny and Tiffany. And first she tried to play it off like it was me because I called her a fucking dick writer and said she had a whiny voice. Well, you know what? Get some thicker skin, bitch.
Yeah, that's the reason, you know, and that wasn't the reason. She left.
No, that wasn't the reason. It was fucking supposedly Benny and Tiffany and the shit they found out with Mama Steph and she heard they used to be Mama Steph and then the fake fucking Fed that
oh yeah.
Yeah, supposedly she was this fake Fed account and all kinds of shit. It was fucking
that
ridiculous.
rumor. Fascinating, that rumor. That whole thing, yeah.
That's what
Is saying someone supposedly was a fake federal agent a false criminal accusation? Is supposedly and allegedly the same words? Was this defamation per se?
Me neither. Not until like recently when she said she was going to debunk it, and other people were talking about it a little, right? With Benny.
No, I've always heard that it
in our
was
midst?
supposedly what? I'm sorry.
We got a fake Fed in our midst.
Voices is very excited to learn that there is someone acting like a fake Fed.
No. There was supposedly a fake Fed called Stacey Slay that was talking to Jody.
Let me also point out, I think this fake Fed shit is disgusting. I don't care who the girl is. I live in the same state she was. There is legit, not autobiography. There's a legit obituary about a woman named Stacey Slay who died. I don't know why they keep saying it's fake. Talk about tragedy pimping at its finest. I think it's fucking gross. The woman is dead. Let her rest in peace, whether she was a whack job or not.
Sue.
Summer Wells.
And they worked in the Summer Wells. Yes. And so I was always under the impression that Penny was involved in that.
Yes. That's what I remember
I
too.
have never heard that Dietz was Stacey Slay. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
supposedly Benny and Tiffany and the shit they found out with Mama Steph and she heard they used to be Mama Steph and then the fake fucking Fed that
oh yeah.
Yeah, supposedly she was this fake Fed account and all kinds of shit. It was fucking
that
ridiculous.
rumor.
Who's saying that now?
The streets are saying it.
When Voices asks who is saying these false criminal accusations, Ellie explains that the streets are saying it, but she fails to mention again that Queen Bee is the streets that said it. Why does she ignore the information right in front of her? Will she claim she didn't know Queen Bee had said that, even though she was on panel for those false accusations?
Apparently from this clip, hold on, I'll play it real quick.
I'm being accused of being a fake federal agent right now. Come on. Are you kidding me?
Oh no, we're not back on the fake Fed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, according to Benny, Dietz is the fake Fed, but get this, Queen Bee used him to come up and talk about the Hunter situation, and she promised him my information. His words. I could load the clip. That's what he said.
What?
All of this to prove that I'm a fake federal agent. Y'all are But no, I don't have anybody coming at me after.
The fuck is that?
I stepped out of the room for a moment.
Right. First,
Yeah.
did she not sound like she was telling some big ass fucking juicy ass secret?
Was Dietz on the streets telling some juicy secret, or was she trying to clear her name due to the people who continue to spread false criminal accusations about her?
Fucking said you were a fake Fed at all. Never heard that. And Benny's never asked me for your information ever.
Queen Bee claims that Benny Keys has never asked her for Dietz's information at all.
I do know that Queen was supposed to hand over some fucking information about Dietz that never happened. And I invested many, many hours of my life in order to try to enrich the whole exchange. That's why I don't go over there anymore. Like, you're not going to use me up on your panel 6-8 hours over a couple of days and then not give me what you said you wanted to give me. So
Benny Keys claims that in exchange for providing information about Andrew and Hunter back in January to Queen Bee, that Queen Bee would provide private information about Dietz to them.
Listen, it's a whole ass lie.
Oh no, we're not back on the fake Fed.
Big whopper.
Did Dietz lie about what Benny and Queen Bee said? Or was Queen Bee lying to cover up for the false criminal accusations she had made about Dietz?
Apparently, according to Benny, Dietz is the fake Fed, but get this, Queen Bee used him to come up and talk about the Hunter situation.
Talking about I used Benny to talk about a Hunter situation. What in the fuck are you smoking, bitch?
During this live stream, Benny made a community post saying that the promise for information did happen, and that Tiffany Marie had the messages to prove it. Was Benny lying? Do you think Queen Bee agreed to exchange information?
And she
Oh, Allie's son, Hunter.
his words. I could load the clip. That's what he said. All of this to prove that I'm a fake federal agent. Y'all are, but no,
What would Hunter have to do with her being a fake Fed?
Yeah, I thought that was a separate situation. I
There's
remember
some kind of like exchange, like if you, I'll like give you
Yes.
Hunter to, and I will give you like Stacey Slay, aka Dietz's information or something.
At least one bee can comprehend in a world of bees who struggle with comprehension.
Benny has never asked me for her information, and he's never tried to give me her information. What the?
Benny claims that Tiffany Marie and Queen Bee exchanged messages that promised information, and Queen Bee says this never happened. Did Benny and Tiffany lie about this promised exchange? Or is Queen Bee lying?
Fuck? That is
Where
so
did story
weird.
come from? That is a weird story.
Does all of the smoke in the hive have the bees in a daze? They have no clue where this even came from, while it came from inside the hive itself.
all right, Dees, don't do a crime sleuth and don't make up shit now and just start saying stuff.
Does worker bee Tim mean don't make up stuff like Dolly and BHB had sex? Or does B. Tim mean don't make up stuff like supposedly someone is a fake federal agent? Or does he mean don't make up stuff like autopsy photos showed things on a child that was not true?
Got the clip. Roll the fucking clip then, because I mean I've never heard that shit, and I've never heard Benny claim that.
I do know that Queen was supposed to hand over some fucking information about Dietz that never happened. And I invested many, many hours of my life in order to try to enrich the whole exchange. That's why I don't go over there anymore. Like, you're not going to use me up on your panel 6-8 hours over a couple of days and then not give me what you said you wanted to give me. So
After having her own words played during a live stream on Dietz's page last night, Queen Bee went live this morning to double down on her false criminal accusations.
And let me make this very clear. I didn't accuse you of being the fake Fed, Dietz.
Too much beeswax can ruin your hearing.
Yeah.
Supposedly Benny and Tiffany and the shit they found out with Mama Steph and she heard they used to be Mama Steph and then the fake fucking Fed that
Oh yeah.
Yeah, supposedly she was this fake Fed account and all kinds of shit. It was fucking
Heard that
ridiculous.
rumor.
Supposedly she was this fake Fed account and all kinds of shit.
Supposedly Dietz was someone who represented themselves as a fake federal agent. Is impersonating a federal agent a crime? Is that imputing a crime onto Dietz? Is that defamation per se?
What I do think though is that you played a big part in it. I think you know a hell of a lot more than what you're saying, and I think you you know, you came in here, you was in here under Mama Steph for the longest time. Then you wanted to change your fucking name and act brand new like you didn't know shit about shit.
Do people change their name on YouTube? Does this mean anyone who has changed their name on YouTube is hiding from stuff they have done? How many Hive members have changed their names? What are they hiding?
To come up and talk about the Hunter situation, and she promised him my information. His words.
Wait.
I can load the clip.
I promised him your information, huh? Well, first of all, your docs has already been out long before that. He never asked me for your information. I never volunteered to give him your information, ever. I've never had a private conversation with Benny, ever.
Queen Bee plays semantics. She says she has never spoke with Benny ever, knowing the conversation was revealed to be texts between her and Tiffany Marie.
Now, I've never had a private conversation with him. What, in my opinion, what happened was when I had spoke to Tiffany, I went to Tiffany back in January, and I said to Tiffany, let me see. So January 9th at 11:41, I said, yo, I wanted to talk to you and Benny about the shit with Deets, aka Mama Steph, and how involved she was with the fake Fed bullshit.
Queen Bee went to Tiffany to get information in January about how involved Deets was with the fake federal agent.
Like, I wanted to go to them and talk to them about it. So, yeah, and I do want to talk to them about it. I think they have a lot of good information. I think they know a lot of good information. I think they know exactly what the fuck was going on.
Queen Bee claims that Tiffany and Benny had information on this fake federal agent and Deets' involvement.
And yeah, I do want to go to them and ask them information. I sure the fuck did, and I did want to know. Because like I said, you may not be the fake Fed, you may not be Stacey Slay, but your ass was fucking well more involved than what you're trying to put off.
Queen Bee doubles down by saying Deets may not be the fake Fed, which means she may be, or maybe not.
You know you are. So I don't want to hear that shit. And I'm not going to read Tiffany's message. That's on Tiffany if she wants to go back and read that part or whatever, because I did message her and ask her, like, what's up? Because she would be the only person that I spoke to about that. Because, again, I've never had a private conversation with Benny. I've never reached out, like, to have a conversation with him about Deets or Stacey Slay. So I was kind of confused when she played that clip, because he apparently was under the impression that I was going to talk to him or go to him or something, or was going to give them certain information. Actually, I was going to them for information. They, like I said, they know a hell of a lot more than I do. They are well more versed in the Summer Wells case than I am. And yeah, I definitely want to know.
Did Queen Bee really want to know the truth? Or was this another banished bee on the horizon?
So far, I mean, basically, she's Mama Steph. No one knew she was Mama Steph before. And some people believe that she has a close association with this weirdo that pretended to be an FBI agent. And everyone's
Some people believe. He means Queen Bee believes.
unsure, and she didn't really clear that up so far. But just by listening, I could be wrong.
Well, wait. It was Fizzle. Like, Jason came in and corrected it, that it was Fizzle that had the direct contact with the
Right.
Stacey
And
Slay.
that's why I said, I thought, okay, so when people were accusing Fizzle of being the one that's what I really thought. Like, I really thought she was the one, that Fizzle was the one being the fake Fed, that because she's the one who had access to it. She's the one who reached out and found this person or whatever and had communications with her. No one else
So Queen Bee knows what happened, but also does not know what happened.
did. Not at first, from my understanding. Now, like, they know more than I do, and that's where the information comes. You know, that's why, like I said, they're privy to more information than I am.
So Queen Bee knows the information, but thinks that Deets is a fake federal agent, so wants to know information that is not true, knowing that it's...
Explain to me why any of this shit matters. That's what I want to know. There are so many other things to worry about. Who cares? The woman is dead. Plain and simple.
It's not true? Is that the defamation per se?
Yeah, so I'm not
The
even sure
entire
what
Discord is still there. So, okay, so are you in it? And yes, Fizzle, not Steph, quotes Deets.
Wait a minute, entire Discord of what?
No, the entire Discord with, what's her name, the fake Fed, is still there, is what she's saying. From my understanding, that's what you mean, right?
Queen Bee seems to have a lot of knowledge about this situation with the fake Fed. Why was she saying back in February Deets supposedly was a fake Fed? If she knew all of this?
I said, I don't think Deets is the fake Fed. I don't think that she is the one who did it. What I think is she knows a hell of a lot more about the shit that's going on, or, you know what I'm saying, that shit that went on, than what she's saying. And that's, I stand on that.
She does not think Deets is a fake Fed. But She thinks Dietz knows a hell of a lot more information about the fake Fed. Funny how that changed this morning from what she said in February. Let's take a look at how much more it changed once Tiffany joined her panel and could reveal the truth.
Okay, so this is where I think the misunderstanding came into place, because I said, hey, yo, I said, I wanted to talk to you and Benny about the shit with Beats, aka Mama Steph, and how involved she was with the fake Fed bullshit. Now, see, when I was coming to you, I know you and Benny you have a lot more information. You're privy to more shit than I am, because you guys know a lot more shit than I do. So I guess if that was the misunderstanding, then I apologize. I didn't have any like extra information to you know what I'm saying, divulge about Deets. I think she was way more fucking involved in this shit than what she's putting out. And that's where I was at the beginning. I think she knows a hell of a lot more than what the fuck she's putting out and what she's saying. I think also Penny, I think there's a lot of people who fucking know stuff that they're not saying, that they're clearly not putting out here.
Of course. So Queen Bee, that's fine. Yeah, I think there was a misunderstanding with the Deets stuff, because I thought you had, from how it was, I don't know, written.
Tiffany understood how it was written that Queen Bee was going to exchange information. Do you think Queen Bee would share someone's private information with others?
You had possibly more info about Deets' involvement, but
when I read it back and I'm like, fuck, she probably, you know what I'm saying? That would have been the miscommunication, because I was saying like, hey, I want to know more about this information with them. You know what, like with the Stacey Slay shit and Mama Steph, aka Deets, because like I said again, I feel like you guys you're more privy to information than I'm not, and you guys know a lot more shit that went on and went down, more so than I do. And I feel like she's hiding, or not necessarily hiding shit, but I feel like she was way more fucking involved than what is coming out.
Is Queen Bee scared of Tiffany Marie? Her tone and tune changed as soon as it was known that she didn't in fact send a message to exchange information. That is when it turned into a miscommunication. Why do lies told always turn into miscommunications for Queen Bee?
Well, Deets, shut up, Chasing. Stop saying no. Stop.
That ain't me. That's
you
Jody.
Can't speak for other people.
That's not
Stop.
me.
That was Jody. That was Jody. And also,
Side note, Queen Bee claimed that Glera came on Dietz' panel Friday night drunk and hollering at the person on panel and how this person was bullied and dog-piled, but then allows this on her own panel.
Careful. What?
No, somebody I read in the comments said that, not cute and not little.
Don't show that again. That's what she struck Chasing for copyright.
Oh, that's her picture though on there.
I was gonna say, this is their channel. You expect me for copyright to show her channel? What the fuck?
That would be
That's
quite
what she
ridiculous.
did to Chasing. That's when I listened to it today. That's what she did to Chasing. Like there was a little bit of her image that was shown, and that's what she copyright struck her for.
That's not how it works. It's fucking fair use, you stupid bitch.
It should also be noted that her hashtags for the video also showed the fake Fed with Dietz' name next to it. One more thing, while on Queen Bee's panel, Jody Sue Brown was allowed to say that Gavel Geeks plotted to murder her child. While B. Tim did say they were harsh allegations, Gavel was corrected for laughing at the wild accusations and told by B. Tim she should be respectful, while Jody said what she wanted to say. More on that later. Queen Bee was willing to put it out there back in February that Dietz was a supposed fake federal agent. She knowingly accused her of a crime when there are multiple videos showing this information is false. Is this another example of the reckless mouth Queen Bee runs while in a defamation lawsuit? Was this defamation per se against Dietz? Should Queen Bee have done research before saying Dietz was a supposed fake federal agent? This is what our community is paying to support.
Amen on that. And all right, I have one more before I go die somewhere. Any bombshell lovers here? Oh. Here we go. Now I can't find in her own words. Thank you, Lisa. That's what I'm saying. All right, any Bombshell fans? No, I got it. I found it. Because someone pointed me to another channel calling out Jenny Dun Dun for Bombshell. Yeah.
You can feel it when you go to work. Do I have any control over my voice? When you pay your taxes. Any control?
Yeah, and also about 6 people made, and like literally you were called that you were, you know, Deeds ran off
and fuck their parody. So that would be like me talking about Sludge Knuckles' fucking voice, or talking about Sludge Knuckles being overweight. And here, can we just address the fact that Jones's fucking Cartman's over there lying her fucking fat ass off again, or her thigh, her skin condition she claims that she's got, right? So something she cannot fucking control. That would be like me going in hard as fuck on her in a parody about her fucking splotchy ass fucking skin, right? So that's about the same fucking thing. Something you cannot control. That's not a parody. That's you being a dumbass bitch.
Yeah, but I found it interesting that they were very angry at the fact that people made fun of Peach's voice, but the moment they made fun of your voice, it's a joke and it's all funny.
Oh, it's a joke though. But when I say she got a whiny voice, oh my god, it's just yes, absolutely. Like I said, I did talk about her fucking voice, just like her in the Glare Windows.
All right, any Bombshell fans in here? Because there's a new channel out who's calling out the righteous do-gooders or the fake righteous do-gooders. Hold on. By the way, I pulled up the obituary just so you guys know. This is Stacy Slay, who is deceased. That's Stacy Slay. She died in Birmingham. There was a real obituary. That is her. Whether she was a whack job or not, I don't know. That part I couldn't tell you. Hang on, I gotta let the dog in. By the way, I made something today that was pretty good. I took Italian green beans, mixed it with tomato soup, and added some chicken It's actually pretty good. Oh. Yeah, I had all these clips I was going to play tonight, but I got sidetracked. All right.
Let's expand our reach. Meet Angelo. He's considered an OG on these YouTube streets, and he's been a problem for many women on this app over the years. He's had sick obsessions with a lot of women, from Mary, Tam Tam, Bombshell, and others. He reaches into their real life and tries to fuck with them. Lately, he's been stuck on Bomb. He's trying to portray that he's filed a civil suit against Bombshell for defamation, as she refers to him as a predator. Because, let's face it, he preys on single women on this platform.
Okay, I see it. Serving handling fee, court fee, filing fee.
And then the total, $339. So every time they try to serve her, I get this bill.
Right.
The first two, the 39 and the 90. Okay. So those are real fees. I don't know where you get a free processor from, but when you use a processor.
This is the ship. Angelo's part of the ship. Savage's crew, that's who Angelo is.
The service company, you have to pay them money. So I don't know where she get it from. Secondly, I'm not in a class action lawsuit. I was invited to a class action lawsuit. I'm not part of it. I haven't even been spoken to about the class action lawsuit in reference to helping or anything like that. That's all Veloma. And she has.
They're just it's ridiculous that they're mushing it together because
it's actually better for the people doing it to do it separately because it's more time consuming. Well, it's more time consuming for both parties, but it's because class action, like the class action, if Veloma had received a C&D, yeah, then you probably could have done a class action with C&Ds and stuff like that. But Veloma's case is Veloma's case based on the slander that's been done to her and the defamation that's been done on her child. And then there's other people that could get in on that under the slander defamation thing. But what she's doing is her path. That's not my path. My path is separate. I mean, I try to give advice to people when they ask for it. I try to show them why the C&Ds were crap. I try to give information based on just general knowledge of what you learn in life and whatever. I try to show people how emails are falsified. I show people why Proton Mail is a bad system. I try to teach people things, and that's the best I can do. But like, I am legitimately taking her to court. I'm not making videos on her because that would jeopardize my case. I enjoy that she's continuing to stream because that just strengthens my case. It continues to show the patterns of behavior that I am taking her to court because I know between me and Karen, one of us has an inability to keep the trap shut, and that's not me. It's her. You know, and all it does is it keeps adding and it keeps adding and it keeps adding. But she's definitely being taken to court by me. Justice does not move fast. It's not Law and Order where after the arrest, 2 minutes later, you're in court. That's not how this works. A real court, a real process takes time, it takes money, and it takes patience. And all three of those things, Karen doesn't have.
After hearing about this action, Baum decided to call the courthouse to see if he actually filed this frivolous lawsuit. Here is what she found out.
Yes, ma'am. I need to ask a question, please. I was told that I have used the process server trying to search paperwork 2 times. Can you check that for me here?
Okay. What is your last name?
My last name is Shell, Shell.
First name?
Is Karen, Karen.
So I do not see anything current. So I don't know, ma'am. How old is the case?
I don't know. I don't even know if there is a case. Apparently there's not a case, but I was checking to make sure that there wasn't a case.
So who told you that the process server was serving you?
A man named Angelo Stevens.
Okay, give me your last name one more time.
Okay, his last name or mine?
No, yours.
Okay, it's Shell, Shell.
Okay, first name?
Is Karen, Karen.
I don't see any current cases, ma'am. So I will not be able to tell you anything, okay?
Okay, honey, thank you so much.
You're welcome, bye.
Now let's meet Jenny Jen. She thinks she is the leader of this community and she's a self-proclaimed mob boss. She's one of Bombshell's adversaries and streams her content daily on Rumble with her elementary commentary. This was her ignorant thoughts on Bomb's phone call to the courthouse.
Thinking she's doing something, like telling her that I was playing that.
Get all this in my history.
Gotta be kidding me, dude. Not ever. No, but everybody knows you lie like a dog and twist stuff. They know the history, the way it happened. I don't have to remind anybody. God. And I don't believe for 1 second that was your courthouse with a foreigner. Sorry, I don't.
What? People who are from India can't live in Georgia. Get the fuck out of here. This is America. We are a very diverse nation. Let's see what happens next.
So that channel just came to me today, and here's the link for it. It's called I Sure Am Too. I didn't even know it existed. But it seems that they're going after Flava, Angelo. I don't know who Toys in the Attic is. So we got Toys in the Attic, Jenny, Jen, Flava. So again, I don't know who it is. I don't know who the channel is. But it came to me today calling out the righteous do-gooders or the alleged righteous do-gooders that are nothing but a bunch of frauds. So there's that. It's only a dox if you saw it. I erased it. I mean, not that she erases any docs of me in her chat, because she doesn't. But I went and erased it. Because I'm nice like that. So, all right. I am going to go die somewhere. I love you all. But it's time for me to go pass out. On a happy note, there are 16 new spring and Easter scents being added to the website. They're actually on there, but I need to do the pictures for them, and I just didn't have the head for it today. But they are done. New theme of the month is not a dox. New theme of the month is Enchanted Realms. There's 3 new candles. If you go to the website, I'm doing a theme of the month every month. And that's it. So, but yeah, 16 new scents are on their way. I just got to have the strength to do the pictures. And once the pictures are done, which should be tomorrow, we're good to go. And we got to get some candle orders, because I actually haven't had a candle order in like 2 days. Oh, yes. Thank you, Crystal. Crystal says I got to give away some memberships. Whoop. All right. I'm giving away 5 memberships. There you go. Leslie, Audacity, Texas girl who hates me anyway. Penny, and there you go. There's 5. You did get one. You did. So, okay, I'm going to go die now. I don't know what I would do without Crystal. I agree. She keeps me sane. The Discord link is on there already, Crystal. I just put it up there like 2 days ago. But I probably won't be able to roll anyone over tonight because I really am hitting the sack. But that's it. All right. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. And that's it. I hope you guys have a great night.